Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all gender identities, I clicked a button and then the picture disappeared. Welcome to 0 Hours Played, where we're playing some more Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah.
And today we need to send a rover to the moon, or maybe to Duna, or maybe to that other moon, the cheater moon.
Minimus?
Minimus.
Minimus is a cheater moon?
Minimus is the cheater moon.
Hey,
Canolis guys.
Welcome. So yeah, we're gonna build a rover.
Apparently we're building a rover. I don't know how any of that
Oh,
works.
actually we need to unlock the technology behind rovers. Or
don't we need to do a whole lot more science and then unlock some technology behind rovers?
The plan was to make rovers and unlock a whole bunch of new science, because the rover part also comes with a bunch of science. I'm looking for it. Field science? This one.
That one.
So,
and it doesn't come with a whole lot of science.
Comes with a bit of science. Okay.
So we need that, and then didn't we need at least one other thing, and we needed some science.
We probably needed this. We like for these
would
really help.
Let's get by it.
We can buy 2 middle things.
That doesn't help us at all, does it?
It might. It depends on what we want to do.
I heard something about it involving rovers.
Yes. So, okay. So, to get to Duna, we might need this. I'm not 100% sure if we need that or not.
I think we do.
We might need that.
Or a couple of satellites in between.
Or both.
Also true.
Because
or just bring a Kerbal.
Or just bring a Kerbal, true. That would give science. All this is science. Also, some of this stuff might come in handy. Like, I did a few rover tests. I wasn't sure what parts we actually had. Like, we might be able to build a rover right now. I'm curious.
I mean, we could build something that could rove. I don't think we can build a rover.
We have wheels. And we have science bits.
This is going to be a real jank rover.
The real question is, do we have
enough science to make it worth it? Okay, here's a proposal.
Okay, here's a proposal.
So we want to eventually make rovers, right?
Yes.
That is the long-term goal, is we want to make a rover.
Mm-hmm.
What did humanity actually do before they landed rovers on Mars?
Retrieve an astronaut from the moon?
Besides that. In terms of landing things on Mars.
Oh.
They landed landers on Mars. They didn't move.
They didn't move?
Yeah. So we could do an automated lander.
Yes.
We've certainly gotten down the art of
dropping something,
gently crashing into the moon or Minimus.
Mm-hmm.
So what if instead of crashing more Kerbals into the moon,
we gently crash a probe into the moon, into Duna?
Yeah. Would there be any more science that a probe could probe?
I mean, that would be about the same. Like, honestly, it's just way less complicated to gently crash a probe onto Duna.
Well, no, because the moon has biomes. We're scanning them right now. Aren't we?
I thought it didn't. We don't need to save that pro body. Let's check our nice little map of everything here. That's the wrong celestial body. Let's go to the moon. Biomes. Okay, it does have biomes.
Moon totally has biomes.
Moon totally has biomes.
So, like, we got a bit from landing one lander in one place. Is it the crash site where we crashed?
The crash site is where we crashed, because he put a flag.
Right, you marked it as the crash site.
It's kind of useful, because now we could see that's where he is. We were kind of aiming for that anomaly and kind of missed a little bit. So, okay, so yeah, we got Midlands, we got Lowlands, and we got Highlands. And the craters are also biomes.
Okay.
So, if we land on a more polar region of the moon, it seems like we could land in a different biome, which means we would get a whole bunch of new science. We know we can get to the moon easy. That's easy.
Yeah, well, so I'm saying that instead of, because we don't really have the parts for a rover, and it's going to need to be kind of like awkwardly long and hard to fit into a rocket if we make it with the parts that we do have.
The plan I was kind of
It
considering.
can't just have 2 wheels. 2
No,
wheels
no,
is
no.
not enough.
It was going to be awkwardly small, live on top of a rocket, and then question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, well, that's the next step of the plan.
Yes. Okay.
I'm saying we launch the same mission that we've launched to the moon like 3 times now, and
But
to
unmanned?
Minimus once. We just take the Kerbal out,
Okay.
and a few minor adjustments. No, man, let's make a new rocket.
Let's make a new chart.
We can make a new rocket.
We can totally make a new rocket. Making new rockets is fun.
So we should start with the Spider Lander because more legs are better.
Well, let's figure out what's actually landing. How much?
This
Not
thing?
This thing.
Yeah.
Just that thing.
I
I
don't
mean, we
know.
want some science with it.
Okay,
And-
so put a trunk above it,
Sure.
not below it.
Trunk above it. Doink.
We can load that up with science if we need to. Give it some spider legs.
Ground. These legs. And like, too many.
Yeah.
And it needs an engine.
For landing, I suppose so.
Yes, unfortunately for landing, you do need an engine.
Yeah, a little bit.
So might be premature to put those, actually. But we probably don't need as much fuel, because this thing's gonna be way lighter than the previous one. Also, I heard a great tip for landing.
Okay.
If you decelerate at the periapsis, you don't have as much you don't have as much
Cross range.
Yeah, you're going only one direction rather than like 3 directions if you just stop in the middle of your orbital flight, because the periapsis is the lowest point.
If you could pull that off correctly, that might help.
That might help. Can't I just do this? It looks less dumb.
Fine.
I mean, we could put it in the middle, but it's just a
The
little...
only concern that I have is we do not want this to be top heavy. So this is actually probably the better way to do it. You're right.
Well, we can look at the...
Well,
Currently it's
we need to
bottom.
load it up with,
Yeah,
with science.
First of all, this thing needs communication. Should we just put one of the big ones on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. The moon does now have a comm satellite, right? Or does Minimus have a comm satellite? Minimus has a comm satellite.
Both of them do, I think.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure we ended up putting one on both.
We might have.
Because we landed both probes on the dark side of the moon.
Right. Yes.
The dark sides of their respective moons.
We did do that. I'm an excellent pilot, you guys. I'm the best piloting.
He swears he was not aiming for it. So another thing that this is going to need is solar panels.
Yes.
And batteries, but not that many. Because
This
this
is
lander
very-
really only needs to last for like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just long enough to send back the data.
Apparently, the stuff we put on it weighs nothing, so I'm not overly concerned.
Alright.
You should probably go on top, right?
That would make more sense, I think. Ooh, yeah, at an angle like that.
Oh, you mean like that?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah, sure. Let's put one in the middle. Is gonna
Sure.
look weird, isn't it?
Probably.
That's fine.
Yeah. That looks landery.
That looks landery, yeah. I kind of wish we could bring the Science Junior, but it's just like by far the biggest piece.
I mean, see what that would look like.
It's also, it weighs up a bajillion pounds.
What's the Science Junior going to do for us?
Give us a heck load of science. You remember, it's like a big screw.
Alright, you can make that work. It's also, you're putting that low, so that's fine.
Let's look at the...
You only have 30 seconds of burn
Yeah,
with this engine and tank combination. The 30 seconds of burn is the same.
I know,
wherever
it's
you
gonna...
are.
I just was curious about the thrust to weight ratio. I don't know, just like... Everything...
Actually, you know what would would be good.
What would be
You
good?
have those super low thrust lander engines, don't you?
I thought this was the super low thrust lander engine, but
Isn't it this one?
I mean, it's that's kind of a problem.
That's the big one. Never mind.
There might be. Is this one super low thrust lander engine? It's the right size, at least.
Put it on a fuel tank and let's see what it would do.
Oh, that is not a fuel tank. In fact,
Not anymore.
Is
You took the fuel away.
there like a nope? I just want like a medium tank. I swear that there should be a medium tank and there isn't one. I guess that's. I don't think this is what I thought it was.
No.
So this is thrust in VAC is 200 kN. That's
a lot.
this is only 60.
Well, maybe that's the engine you should be using.
This maybe it's this one. This one's 250 kN in a VAC.
That's still a lot. That's much more than 60. Also, that's the wrong diameter.
It is. Do we want a low?
Yes, because you're landing on the
Right.
moon and you always have it throttled down to like 11%.
Wait, now we have 2 minutes. I throttled down the engine to let's go 50%.
All right, well then maybe that'll be fine.
And now we have almost 2 minutes.
All right, let's fly it.
Well, it needs another bit of rockets.
You mean like a first, second, and maybe third stage?
Yeah, those.
Nah.
Nah, we're just launching from the launch pad.
It could get to the moon in 30 seconds.
If you want, I would love to see a rocket that could get to the moon in 30 seconds. That would be quite cool. You could probably, your big ass rocket.
I
might
think
have done
Scott
it.
Manley has done that. Didn't he make something with like an infinite number of RCS thrusters or something?
Oh yeah, that thing.
That could go the speed of light?
Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't quite get to this. It got pretty close. So if we were going to Duna, I kind of wanted to suggest.
Let's not go to Duna.
We're
on
not
the
going to
first
Duna,
trip.
but it's,
Don't you want to put an engine on the bottom?
I
of
might
that?
want to put an engine on the bottom of that. You raise a good point. Putting a leaving a comm satellite and then detaching a lander from it.
Yeah, we could do. You could do that.
Just need to make larger and more complicated rockets at all times.
I mean, I think
That's
if
kind
you
of-
wanted to, like, you could do that and have the comm satellite not have an engine of its own,
Mm-hmm.
but that would require some very careful maneuvering.
Well, I was imagining putting it
Or you could do it with a comm satellite with an engine.
like a comm satellite in this section, and then that leaves the top, and it becomes the lander. You know, because we always leave like the big ass fuel tank rotating around the planet.
That's a weird way of doing things.
How would you imagine it? Like the comm satellite is radially
You have
attached. or
one
something?
engine stack,
Okay.
and at the top of the engine stack,
Oh, there's two
you have all
probes.
of your payloads.
Oh, that makes sense. That might be saner.
And maybe each of your payloads has one of their own engines.
Like
but
a
it only
little
has
one.
Very small amount of fuel in it.
Mm-hmm. A comm satellite on the moon could probably just have a large RCS tank and be fine.
I'm sure we have one on the moon.
We do. That's why I'm not suggesting we put another one up there. Okay.
Well, I mean, we could launch a whole GPS swarm around the moon, eventually.
That's cool, but for the Kerbal Strand, he just wakes up one day and is like, huh, I got GPS here. That's cool. I wish they would rescue me, but...
Speaking of GPS on the moon, I heard an actually very interesting bit of research that apparently, and now this would require a very, very large GPS antenna, but you could actually use GPS to get a position lock on the moon. Not the way it's intended, but you could get it to work. Stream sounds a little quiet on your end. It sounds a little quiet on my end too. I don't know what happened.
Did the compressor get bumped again or something?
Did the compressor get bumped?
It happens too much.
I don't
You don't think so?
think so.
I will keep talking. Chris is turning knobs. I'm not sure what the knobs do or anything of that nature, but he's turning them. I'm looking for engines. I want a big ass engine. I want the mainsail engine, I think. Let's see, we got. You know what?
I mean, I could always just turn the compressor up.
It's much louder. That's for sure.
Well, I added some more gain at the end, and I turned the compression ratio up a little bit, and the attack down, or the attack's the same. I changed the threshold. Threshold is what I changed.
You changed the threshold. It sounds about the same to me, but
that sounds better according to Skynet's lawyer.
That's good. That's good.
How about that's
a little
something's crunchy there. What is crunchy?
It's more than anyone wants with these rockets.
Okay, how about that? No, that's way worse.
Jesus. Okay, that was okay. We don't want that. Just want my maybe like. Okay, no, this is.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
No wonder.
There we go.
That is more what I'm expecting. These numbers are more appropriate.
Oh, you were still looking at Kerbin.
And I was looking at Kerbin and I put some engines on it. It was like 26 was our thrust to weight ratio, and that's like scary high. But this,
because you were still on the moon.
Yes, if you launch this rocket from the moon, it'll leave real quick.
Okay. I think I got almost all of the clipping out of our voices.
Yeah, I don't hear any clipping anymore.
A
little
bit? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little
maybe
bit.
only a very slight amount. I've now changed every single number.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I like...
This looks suspiciously like the last time we launched this rocket.
I didn't put a big bottom on it this time. This time it's got a nice slim bottom. Do you don't think it's gonna make it?
I'm a little concerned with the amount of thrust on the second stage and the fact that it doesn't have very much burn time.
We can put more on the second stage. That's easy to do.
I mean, the
I might
first
have put
stage
the wrong engine on it.
is probably fine. Swivel's what you usually like.
Yeah, swivel is usually what we put on the... We could put more fuel. I mean, that lowers the thrust to weight ratio.
This is why we usually go big.
This is why we usually go big. I kind of wanted to avoid going big because I feel like we...
Then try it. It might work. You just have to be very...
Yes,
I think this can probably get there if you know what you're doing. I don't know if you know what you're doing.
This is a distinct improvement over the USS Not Likely. The USS This Can Probably. Is there anything else we're forgetting? Let's just do a quick... We got science, we got dishes, we got...
Like, this would be very awkward to put a fairing over, but maybe you could put some heat shield or something on the top of that? I don't know. Those are solid rocket boosters.
Those are solid rocket boosters.
Is my concern.
We could, like... That is not the right size.
Oh, well, then that blocks all of our solar panels. So.
And we can't remove it. Like,
yeah.
We could also put one. That's a big one.
Nah, just launch it, and if it blows up, then we need to.
We can also just put a. I can also just put a fairing over it.
Yeah, just launch it, and if it shears off, then we need to put a
fairing on it.
Because you'll have to like remove the whole top stage and put a fairing around the whole thing. It's very tall.
It's very tall. I could also put like a fairing on the tippity top, but I forgot to check my staging. Everything's fine.
Lucked out. You also, so a few things you forgot. RCS, flight computer.
Woo! Yeah, let's get that flight computer on there. That thing is very helpful. I also should have engaged SAS before
you started crashing?
Before we started crashing, yeah.
That's a typical decision.
Okay,
They're designed to actually fit on the
are they
facets of the Pro. I
Oh,
believe.
that's cool. I'll put them on the facets of the Pro. Why they're in science, I'm really not sure. That one isn't.
Okay, that one is not, but the other one is.
I'm gonna put this one inside.
Fine.
I wish the cargo bay, would cargo bay properly.
With just a little bit.
Yeah,
Even once?
Kerbin. Actually, the large Kerbin cargo bays are also weird because I did some some rover experiments and tried to figure out what the hell the best way to to deploy a rover is.
Not out of a cargo bay.
It's not. You also need to like detach things from your cargo bay because if you just put something in your cargo bay, it's welded there forever, which is they don't tell you.
That's not what you want
No,
with a rover.
no, you want it to move usually. RCS, that's what I'm thinking of. RCS.
I mean, if you're going to do RCS, you have to have a whole RCS tank. So maybe it's not even worth it.
You know what might help this thing actually though? Fins.
I mean, it depends. You didn't want to crash into the launch pad?
These are a little small.
Those are fins.
Are they too big? Too much fin?
Yeah, no one can tell you that's too much fin.
Telewarriors tells me it's not enough fin, so like it would be nice to have RCS, but I don't know if we actually need it or not.
Yeah, just launch it.
Just launch it.
Do it live.
I wish we could have done a rover first, but so it's spinning less.
Yeah, that looks fine. I mean, it's
Oh,
going
very
ultra fast, but you know,
Just slow down a minute.
or it's going to gravity turn itself back to the ground. There you go. That's an interesting strategy for avoiding,
Maybe we should have made those separate.
considering that you still have your entire liquid fuel tank.
Yep.
And you're carrying up the boosters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Are we falling? Are we?
You are, yeah, not accelerating upwards.
Yeah. Okay. So good. Good design decisions. Strong design decisions.
I didn't realize you didn't have couplers on that, or that you hadn't calculated them to burn out at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I don't know. I'm dumb. I think is what I'm gonna go with. So
That's the right defense.
do we have a smaller?
No,
That's-
those seemed good. You just
I don't
need
think
to
they're
ditch
gonna
them.
couple well, though. Is the problem?
Why
But
not?
We'll see. We'll try it. Where are the couplers? In the coupling, perhaps. There's two kinds, and that sounds fun. It's got almost twice the ejection force. Might as well.
I mean, if you're afraid they won't decouple well, that's your solution.
They're not attached to the couplers.
Yeah, it is.
It wasn't before.
It is now.
Gently push these down a little bit.
That'll
They
be
don't
fine.
they don't really know, like...
You can tell what it's rooted to, though.
I know,
They're
I know. They're
low
rooted-
green.
They kind of seem like they're just floating.
Don't worry about it.
I
Don't
won't.
worry about it.
Okay, let's not even fire the main engine this time.
It's up to you.
Well, it went supersonic way quicker.
That is a great use of solid fuel boosters.
They're for stability. You see, they hold up the rocket because they're solid and... Thank you, Kerbal Space Program. That is how I wanted the staging. I figured it could figure this out, but apparently not.
Hey, Total Warrior.
Hey, you missed...
How's it going? You missed the greatest thing we will ever do. Or maybe you didn't. You probably got it that just in time.
It flies way worse now.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice.
I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan.
It seems to be flying.
It wants to go that way. Like, really strongly wants to...
You could go that way.
We're going that way. Maybe I shouldn't eject the fins. That might be a smart decision.
If you're this low in the atmosphere, maybe not. Yeah.
Like, this thing it's gonna fall over again. Yeah, sorry. See, this is why building a new rocket is always a journey of discovery and adventure. Okay.
I just find it amazing that you haven't gotten better at it after all of this time. The engine you have on this is not powerful enough to lift all the fuel that you have. Just so you know.
Still, I thought
take the solid fuel boosters off and look at your thrust to weight ratio.
It doesn't change. Yep, that's bad. Yeah. This is why we always put a giant, massive stage on the bottom.
Or you can always make the probe lighter. That's, you know.
Yeah, I could take off the Science Junior.
But you wanted to bring the Science Junior.
I want to bring the Science Junior. I'm going to make a massive stage. On the bottom, there's nothing else to be done.
You need a bigger rocket.
And I thought I was just putting a massive rocket because I felt like building massive rockets.
Due to personal inadequacy?
Yes.
I mean, I think we can even go bigger than that.
How much bigger than that do you want to go?
That only lasts for 30 seconds.
It does, which is a problem.
We have the 2.5 meter tanks now, don't we?
Do we? I thought we didn't actually...
Or at least one of the rockets. Something that's fucking huge. Maybe not. This is
2. These are 2.5.
Oh, then the 2.3.2? I don't remember.
Do we actually have a 3.2 engine yet? I mean, we got this thing, but that is this size.
I don't know what I'm talking about, okay?
That's fine. Like, clearly I don't either, so...
I mean, this'll
go...
This'll fly you to the moon.
I could probably, like... Okay, that's a little short, but...
That's what you want.
This? Yeah, okay.
Probably just this. Like, if you want to avoid your solid fuel boosters and...
Yeah,
them on the launch pad.
I want to avoid that, so...
I think this is just light enough to let you do that.
So let's put fins on it to make it fly like shit.
Okay.
Shouldn't they, like... I mean, does that look... Okay, that one... Nope. Nope, that's... How do fins... This thing is not designed for fins, is it?
Not really, no.
I guess it's big enough that it's just going to go.
You can certainly hope so.
Yeah, thanks. You sound very optimistic about my chances of launching this thing.
I don't know, it's just amusing to see you fail at rocketry after we've been doing this for 10 weeks now.
It's not going to help it. Like that, I don't know.
It won't hurt.
It could hurt, but we'll go with it.
Put fins on every stage, says Total Warrior.
See, Total Warrior knows what's up. We're going to carry these fins all the way to orbit.
Alright.
For no reason. No, we're not.
They'll help on the moon. I mean, technically the moon does have an atmosphere.
Does it have an atmosphere in this game?
No.
Okay. Technically it has an atmosphere.
But the real moon technically has an atmosphere.
Don't most things that are about that size?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And it's less an atmosphere as gas that's... I mean, guess what an atmosphere is, though, is gas that's stuck, right?
Yeah, you barely got two molecules to rub together, but, you know, it does have at least the two. Still wants to go west for some reason.
Yep, definitely wants to go west.
You could...
Or east, or apparently.
Oh, it just wants to go back down.
I'm wondering if... So, let me check one thing here.
You know what I think?
What?
I think this thing needs a fairing.
That way, I think you're correct. I also want to make sure... Okay.
The top is a lander. So,
yeah, the top is unstable.
You know, it's nice and asymmetrical.
Okay, so we're gonna... I'm gonna try putting it here.
So you're gonna try just putting the solar panels under a fairing.
I mean, I guess the legs are also not helping.
The legs are at least symmetrical, though.
Yes. I think it's mostly that, if it's anything.
I mean, you took the radar off, which is the main thing that it is. But...
Yes, but I'm going to put the radar in the fairing, too. We have like a... There, that looks... Come on. You want to... Fine. No. There we go. They always want to be stubbier than I expect. My fairing could have been slightly better. I probably should have done that in reverse order.
I think you need to reposition that fairing. I'll be honest with you here.
What is... Okay. It always wants to be a different shape. I can never figure out why. That's a... I mean... It's a fairing.
That's aerodynamic-ish.
Ish.
Enough. Put fins on the fairing.
I don't think you can, unfortunately.
Oh. Does that not... You can't attach things to the fairing?
I don't think you can attach... We could try, but I don't think you can.
I wonder if anyone's ever...
If it crashes, I will try it. I believe it will crash. I believe in our power. I believe in my power.
This is looking a whole lot more stable.
Yeah, it is.
You know, when you don't have
Weird.
angled sheets at the top of your rocket. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I should never doubt that, like, I shouldn't change things we know work, I think is the takeaway.
Up to you.
Every time I do it, it just blows up in my face. Aerodynamic, is that Tunnel Warrior?
I think they may be referring to the fact that you're going a little fast.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You're getting out of the atmosphere, so it's all good.
We need to not go that way. Well, it's,
Well, it was going well for a while.
It was. We're going a direction.
It'd be better if you were just going in one direction.
Instead of many.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more fuel efficient to go one way and not, like, lose half your momentum and turn around and stuff?
I mean, we did sort of make this rocket saying that you'd have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But this thing has an awful lot of thrust. You're basically in orbit already, so...
Just tilt this down and then... I was really concerned they were gonna, like, everything was going to explode. That would be real bad.
That's not a problem that ever actually happens.
Hasn't happened in a while, but it's happened.
Only when we really poorly design the rockets, though.
We should lose this at this point, too. That thing is really green up here. The right angle.
What is?
This. The little...
Oh, yeah. You should...
Burn and put RCS on?
Yeah.
I mean, like... It'd be nice if I wasn't facing retrograde, that's all. Like, if I were facing...
I mean, we talked about RCS.
Yeah, we did talk about RCS, and then I discounted it stupidly. It really, really helps, and I always forget how much it helps. Okay, it is time to burn. Actually, time to burn that way. Did this thing fuck up so bad it's not going to actually get into orbit?
You just didn't put enough stage on your second stage to actually probably... You'll get into orbit just fine.
but we're
It's-
go anywhere else.
It's the moon that you may not.
I mean,
get
I
to.
lost. I was expecting to not lose all that momentum and stuff. Like, it went real bad.
Yeah, but you're still not really gonna get single stage to orbit. Like that has to be an unreasonably large and unreasonably powerful rocket to do
Okay.
that.
So I should just stop trying, basically.
Or like really commit to making it unreasonably large and unreasonably powerful. Because you don't want to really do either.
Yeah, I don't. I commit to neither one.
Yeah.
Which is the best possible combination of the two.
Hey, Ouija Power, how's it going, man?
Hello, Ouija Power. I don't think I have enough fuel to go anywhere in particular.
I mean, design your maneuver to get to the moon,
We need to do.
and if it requires more than like 100 meters a second of fuel, then no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
This is your circularization burn?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you need like 4 times as much, or 8 times as much fuel on this vehicle.
Maybe to make it not flip over on the way up.
That's only gonna help a little bit.
It'll help a little bit.
Ah, Ouija Power went to New Donk City last night, or New York City.
New Donk City. Are you excited to go to New Donk City?
The best thing about the city being called New Donk City means that somewhere in Mario's world, there's a city called Donk City.
I hadn't even considered that. Has anyone said that on Twitter or anything like that? Or?
I don't know.
That's great. You should tweet that next time everyone's talking about New Donk City. It does. It means like somewhere possibly in the Netherlands, there's a city called Donk.
Yep.
You've heard that Pauline is the mayor of New Donk City?
What character is Pauline?
Pauline is the character from, the original Mario game, the Donkey Kong, that he rescues.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah,
Okay.
that lady.
That's not Princess Peach?
It's not Princess Peach for reasons I'm unclear
I'm
on.
not even sure that I knew that wasn't Princess Peach.
Okay.
How is the Nintendo store? I've never been to a
I didn't even
Nintendo
there was a
store.
Nintendo store?
There's a Nintendo store in New York, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Are there Nintendo stores other places or just New
In
York?
New York and Tokyo, I believe.
Those are the two places?
Possibly somewhere in Europe.
Cool.
There, for the example, there is not one in Los Angeles or Glendale.
That is unfortunate.
I'm pretty sure there's one in Tokyo too, or Hong Kong, or somewhere in Japan, or
Actually, that's-
Japan adjacent.
if I set it as a target, that might help a little bit.
I think your
inclination is awful.
Inclination is
God
nowhere
awful.
close.
Yeah, it's not. It's terrible. I just want to know that we're never going to get there.
So what were you doing in New York? Just a little vacation, or?
Well, we might be able to make that, but never make circulation.
Apparently, I'm thinking of a Pokemon store that's in the China or Japan area. Could be. I could swear I thought there was more than one Nintendo store, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
This thing is never going to make it to the moon.
Oh no, it's Nintendo. Of course, they only made one of them.
Nintendo burns.
Oh, you went to see Cats. Very cool.
That's a classic musical. So what we need to do here.
Let's get rid of all of the part that is
Fork it
Rocket
up.
and make it much more Rocket.
Much Rocket.
You thought it sucked? Eh.
I totally understand that. Cats is a very classic musical, but it's also like one with not a whole lot of plot. And
Yeah, I've never
not
actually
all of the
seen
songs
it,
are great.
But the songs aren't very good.
yeah, it's
So
even
I don't know
more-
why it's been running for 20-something years.
I think I don't know why it got famous in the first place, but it like stuck.
It just got famous enough that it's never gonna go away.
I think it's one of those. Yeah, it's
Mm.
like a, but like not good like Wicked or Les Mis or anything like that.
Yeah, but those are all new. Like, Cats had been going on forever for as long as I can remember. I mean, it's only about as old as I am, but still,
Yeah,
that's,
it's still that's a pretty
that's an awful long
that's a
time.
long
Like
run.
I went to see Wicked. I saw Wicked with the original cast in New
Right.
York
Yeah.
in like 20.
20 something. Which
Yeah.
is which is the point. I think it was like at least that was like a 05 at least, if not
I think it
even
was
later than that.
2007.
Yeah.
I want to say.
That sounds right. Can we put fins on
It
the
may
ferry?
not have been the entire original cast. but
Sure.
It was,
I know what you mean.
it's in New York.
So yeah,
That was
it's-
fucking cool.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Doesn't let you.
Yeah, I just see it moves gently out of the way. But this thing is gonna have a hell of a stability problem now, which is good.
You could make it thicker in the middle.
I could make. Oh, you mean like extend this stage?
You could
More.
extend that stage, or like get rid of the second stage and make it a 2.5 meter as well.
Sure.
Because you do have some aerodynamic advantages to that. Like
That's true.
It's-
Also,
it's thicker, it shouldn't want to pinwheel as much.
if it's thicker, also it'll not wobble as much.
This is also correct.
So we need a big coupler.
We need a big coupler. Gets out the smallest coupler.
And I do need that adapter still, even though I tossed it.
Well, you
At
you
some
can
point,
also
I'm
get
going
rid
to
of
need.
the fuel tank there.
Yeah, but I'm still going to need an adapter
Yeah.
for that bit.
No, so you're going to try to make this
No,
single
I'm
stage
not.
to the
I'm
moon.
putting.
No, I want to see single stage to the moon.
You want to see single stage to the moon? Jesus. Okay, let's do it.
No plot at all. Too many character songs, and the only thing I liked it about was the orchestra.
I mean, orchestras are good. So we're gonna need
Yeah,
like.
Broadway orchestras. No fucking around.
Okay, we're gonna need like. How many fucking fuel tanks? So, oh, you're right. This is the problem with rockets. At a certain point, when you just add more fuel tanks, you don't actually get more thrust.
Mm-hmm.
It just sort of
No,
plateaus.
adding more fuel tanks never gets you more thrust.
Well, it like, yeah, but the thrust rate is so low now. It's like, I think single stage to the moon is
No, single stage to the moon is madness. It's never
is
gonna happen.
entirely madness. What? Like,
But if you put some of those like really big solid rocket boosters on, who knows?
single stage to the moon, does that count as single stage to the moon with boosters?
Doesn't count as single stage to the moon.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh wait, no, I want the opposite of that one. What is the benefit of that over like? I mean, it's got an insanely larger amount of thrust.
If I
want the VAC to be higher than the ASL because this is going to be out of
yeah,
atmosphere.
but you want to look at the engine ISP in vacuum,
Engine ISP in vacuum.
which is right here.
Right.
So 350, very good. 90,
Bad.
you could piss faster than that.
340 versus 350. So
But on the other hand, that has very low thrust.
yes. Where is the thrust number? That would
The
help.
thrust is max thrust ASL and max thrust vac. It's in kilonewtons.
Kilonewtons.
If you would like me to find you the conversion factor for kilonewtons into
No,
ton force, I could do that.
I mean I don't think that's going to help me. That's a lot better.
Would that help you visualize it?
No,
No?
no.
Ton force wouldn't help you visualize it?
I don't.
What would help you visualize it?
I'm scared of
Your
numbers.
future mod has 7-meter parts? Oh my god.
Near future. Oh yeah.
That's 7 meters is like as long as a bus.
Because this is 2.5 meters.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's scary. That's real scary. Yeah, there's many mods I didn't add to our game that do crazy things like 7-meter parts.
I'm just thinking about ways to make it easier for you to visualize, like, how big things are.
I swear I put two. I swear this thing has 2 stages. I swear it has 2 stages. Maybe if
Do
I
they both have fuel?
Decouple. Okay, there
There
we
you
go.
go.
That's see when you just ditch the engine as the first stage, apparently doesn't count as a first stage. So that looks okay.
5 and 7 meter parts.
Although
I
it's a
thought there
little-
were. I think we have some mods that do 5 meter parts.
I don't know.
Or is it
I
only
don't
3.5.
I think there's only 3.5 because 3.5 is bigger than anyone needs.
Nah,
Surely.
I mean, not if you're going to colonize Mars. Playing with 5 and 7 meter parts might be fun.
Do you want? We could add that. I think I just have to test to make sure it doesn't break anything we
Yeah.
already have. But I'm pretty sure we could just like that. Our tech tree becomes larger, and we have to scrounge up more science. But yeah,
I don't know. It's something
we
to
could,
think
yeah.
about.
I mean, that's
would
how
be fun.
that's how you build the missions that keeps popping up, where it's like put something that can house 7 Kerbals and like last for 1,000,000 years and blah blah blah. On
So apart from not having RCS, which is something that you said you
I
wanted
definitely
to add,
need it now because these stages do not maneuver. They have the maneuverability of like
it
a
flies like
very
a brick.
a very lazy whale.
I still think. Also, you should have 3 stages, not 2.
Also, I should have 3 stages, not 2. I should have 3 stages and not 2. Why do I have 2 stages? Okay, I see. See, if you disconnect the engine before it fires, it doesn't count as a stage. So
You're
let's-
gonna have to be.
Let's make sure that's still good on the moon.
You're gonna have to
It's
be
still fine.
real. We didn't change anything about that, so that would be fine. But I was just saying you're gonna have to be real efficient
On
in
the-
taking off. Because you only
Yeah.
have 3 minutes 20 seconds of burn at full tilt.
Yep. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem. Let me finish putting these RCS tanks on there.
You could put the RCS tank that has some gas in
Oh
it.
yeah, let's just do that. That'll give me more burn time too. Wait, no, I have to put it.
You could put one on every stage.
I could do that. Is there a smaller one?
You'll use that extra fuel on your top stage. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm just concerned about the thing not taking off at some point, but might as well just jam more. Whoops, a little too much.
Take 4 science labs to the moon, and then after you run all the science through lab 1, move it to the next, and it's like unlimited science.
That's a really fucking good idea. That's a really
That's
good
a good idea.
Yeah,
We
we
should-
have
we should
we
try
have a
that.
shitty space science lab right now. But yeah, we should do that. I like that idea. Because you get all that data, and that's like you max out
can
the
just
data.
load the data from one science lab into the next.
Yep.
Huh. All right.
Mhm.
Science multiplier.
Science multiplier. We definitely need a lot more Kerbins. So this is the action groups we have.
If we, well, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If we could stop stranding Kerbins on the moon and killing them, like we wouldn't have such a.
Is it we
Kerbin
can run on the
shortage.
moon with a scientist? I'll have to check that when we get there.
I
This
don't.
thing is like gonna, I don't know, not work.
Gonna take off very slowly.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna take off quickly enough, right? Actually,
Just
this
barely.
thing needs to get out of the atmosphere, or this engine is going to be shit.
Oh, did you put the wrong engine on the bottom?
No. That engine's fine. This engine needs to be out of atmosphere.
Then I would put a solid rocket booster on this thing.
Okay, sure. Let's see, which one do we want? One of the like, that's a dinky.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, it's big enough. That's how
Yes,
you want
put
them.
them on like that. I would also put them on decouplers because those only burn for 20 seconds.
These burn for a minute.
Those burn for a minute.
They burn for a minute.
Well, your main engine burns for a minute 40 seconds.
Yes,
So you should
so
still
put them on decouplers for sure. I would like to put them on the rocket first to just see how it's gonna do it. If we pick the right ones. Yeah, so this thing is gonna like. I'm gonna where is that? Aerodynamics, I think.
Oh, those give you no thrust.
They give me no thrust.
789 meters a second.
That seems lower than it should be.
Yeah, that's why they run for so long.
Well, then not those. I thought we had. These are tiny. These are. This one? This is the one I was thinking of.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, these burn for 25 seconds.
Oh, those are... Yeah, those will work.
Do we have like a...
Minus Man suggests clustering some other engines at the bottom. That's another thing you could do.
Yeah, I should get into the whole engine clustering business. Is he going to be more fuel efficient than this thing? I mean...
It all depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it all depends on what we're trying to do. If we just put like... Alright, I have to do the weird... This thing with the girders. We put them like that.
That doesn't have enough thrust to take off.
That is not these engines. We've also successfully used these engines.
You're going to need more than 4.
I'm going to need more than 4, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to need more than 4.
The engine that you have on there, the tank engine, is actually really stupidly efficient.
It is.
So.
No, I don't want 4 of them. I really, really don't.
That would be fun to see.
Just put 4 of those together around like just a giant stack of fuel tanks.
I don't know how that would work, but yeah, why not?
What is that? Have you ever seen that before? That's what it is.
Oh, those are your extra stages.
That don't exist.
All right.
See, yeah, these burn for 25 seconds for a bunch, though, so I don't know, it'll help.
Oh, yeah, no, this will be fun.
Why are they a separate stage?
Because your staging's fucked up?
My staging is fucked up. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
Then
I guess they're just being calculated.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, cool. That is always the best solution.
6 Rhino engines clustered might be a good idea. What could go wrong?
Is that what that thing is called? A Rhino engine?
I don't remember which engine is the Rhino, but it might be. I mean, Kerbal Space Program has never been the game where super huge engine clusters are a safe and reliable thing.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, neither is the real world, so.
I remember when I first started playing this game, I would, like...
You are going a tad
way too
on
fast.
the quick side.
Yeah. Still going a tad on the quick side.
And remember, for extra efficiency, don't go straight up. If you go...
I'm trying to not... Like, it's a balancing act. Okay, we're definitely... Okay, we're high enough now to, like... to go for it. After we leave the blue... Man, this engine has a lot of kick to it. Just looking at our Apoapsis is real high already.
Yeah, no, this is why you need to be going
start,
sideways.
We need to go sideways.
Rhino has a maximum thrust at 1 atmosphere of 1,205 kilonewtons, and in vacuum, 2,000 kilonewtons.
This is the twin bore. Okay. The Rhino sounds like a very scary thing.
We ought to get ourselves one of them. Or
I'm
6
not
in
sure
a cluster.
if it's a near future part or not. It might be something we have access to. This thing is...
I would check that you're circularizing the way you want to be before you run out of fuel.
I mean, we're not going to quite circularize completely, but it's a default
It is a default engine.
Okay. It's probably like on the next tier then. It was almost a complete one stage in orbit?
No, you had boosters.
Right, the boosters. Right. Gotta count the boosters. Let me just warp us a little bit. Oop. Oh, I need to. Let me. I don't think it'll actually explode the rocket, but it'd be very embarrassing if it did explode the rocket.
Ouija Power says when they were performing Memory, it somehow reminded me of Clara's theme from Doctor Who.
Huh.
I guess I can sort of see that.
Interesting.
I don't know. I liked Clara. That doesn't sound like a terrible thing to be reminded of.
No, Clara was.
It's probably better than Cats.
Clara was good before she was bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, but still.
It's not her fault. Like, there was definitely good parts.
very
You may
good
have
character.
stopped watching at that point.
No, I know. She became evil. I think that was...
No, I'm saying, like, poorly written, not evil.
Well, she became evil and poorly written, if I recall correctly.
I think that, yes, there was a correlation there. Man.
Basically, what I'm saying is I hate Stephen Moffat.
That's also what I'm saying. I agree with you. So, did you hear? If we're
There's
talking
gonna
about
be a lady doctor?
There's going to be a lady doctor.
About time. I don't see the issue.
Interested in seeing it, or
Maybe.
you haven't watched it in a while?
I haven't
right?
watched it in a while, and Stephen Moffat is a...
I think I
bad
thought they got
writer.
rid of Stephen Moffat.
Have they finally gotten rid of him?
As a showrunner, I heard this. I'm not sure if it's
Okay, because I would not want to watch a lady doctor that he wrote.
Stephen Moffat has a bad track record with female characters
And male characters.
and male characters
And alien characters. and
plot
Doctor Who
lines,
characters.
and,
And plots, yeah.
That's their okay. Yes, I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally select Minimus. Although we could definitely get to Minimus. Should we just go to Minimus?
It doesn't really make much of a difference, does it? I mean,
No, it doesn't actually.
The reason to go to the moon is because we have a better map of the moon.
Yeah.
So we could, like, theoretically
How's our Minimus map
aim
doing? Is it
exactly at
actually
a
done?
biome. Oh, yeah. Do we have a better map of Minimus as well? I don't know.
We have a decent map of Minimus, I think. I don't remember exactly how it's doing at the moment. Wait, you can map the sun? Sure.
Why not?
I guess the sun technically has biomes even in real life. There's a Minimus map. Minimus has much harder to land on biomes.
Yeah, so let's go to the moon.
Let's go to the moon.
Let's go to the moon. Oh, and this is going to be a ground relay station as well.
It is.
Not that that'll be super helpful, but
It'll
it will be a relay station.
It'll be slightly helpful. It won't hurt.
It depends on which face of the moon you landed on.
That's true. We haven't decided yet. There are a lot of... Okay, that's us? No, that's not us. We're there. Right, got it. Okay.
Space junk, it's a problem.
It's a real problem. It's not that we're going to hit it. It's just that it makes it harder to navigate space.
So, speaking of things on television, did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did not watch Game of Thrones.
Me neither. Cool. Good
Nice.
discussion.
We're the best.
Good talk. Good talk.
We're relevant and new. Did I tell you about the new season of Zoo?
A third season of Zoo?
There's a third... Somehow there's a third season
I
of
thought
Zoo.
you didn't watch the first two.
Then I saw somebody talking about the third season of Zoo, and I watched all of the first and second season.
Okay, so tell me what happens in the third season of Zoo.
So
Don't spoil the second season for me, because I only watched 90% of it. It's crap, and you can spoil it all you want.
all of Zoo is crap. That's the
Yes.
point.
Well, that's the point.
So the third season of Zoo takes the interesting choice of putting a 10-year time jump in there.
10-year time jump.
Just bam, 10-year time
All right.
jump. So you may recall that there was an apocalypse happening, like the animal apocalypse.
Yes,
they solved that one. That was
Animals
fine.
have all gone, turned into zombies, and they're just killing people for no goddamn reason, left and right. and planning together, and there was like a
Mhm.
pack of dogs that was hunting the homeless,
Yes.
and
It got worse and worse and worse,
And
and
then
then
it
they
got
fixed
better.
it. Like
Okay.
they just like, bam, we fixed it, no problem. Oops, we released all these weird hybrid genetically mutant monsters.
so Zoo
Bad news.
in 10 years is just a utopia of genetically engineered, completely calm and docile domestic animals.
Yes, but also there's weird hybrid monsters that just crave human flesh for
Oh, okay.
unspecified reasons.
Okay.
And humanity
Is just totally cool with this? This is
yes,
all right.
and sterile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that related to the flesh-eating monsters or a different problem?
The same person who caught they while fixing
So the evil tech company did all of this.
No, there's
No?
a new evil organization that did all of this.
A newer, eviler organization?
They're also the good guys. They're called the Shepherd. I don't look. It's gotten so out there. That's why I had to watch this because it's just entirely nonsense.
Hey Siri, remind me to watch Zoo season 3.
Nope, we need to burn the other way here.
Thank you.
It's entirely nonsense.
That sounds. That's an orbit.
That's an orbit. Yeah.
That was a. You could get a tighter orbit. Like zoom in because you had that super tight.
I was a little afraid it was too tight.
There's no such thing as an orbit around the moon that's too tight. Like I think
That's probably like
that'll be perfect.
yeah. Okay. So we need to go warp to that maneuver now.
Zoo season. I thought that show was canceled.
It should have been. It's
And this is new.
you
Like
should
airing
watch
now.
airing on Thursday or something like that. Yeah, episode 4 or something like that. It's incredible. It's like transcendently nonsense.
I'll have to check that out. Shout out to Master Gamer who's hosting us and recommended us this show
Ages ago. During season 1, I think, or like after season 1.
I think it
showed
was
up on
right
Netflix.
after season 2 that he recommended it to us because I watched it. While I was watching it, the second season went live on Netflix. And then I told you about it because I thought it was the greatest terrible show that I'd ever seen.
And it's gotten.
And you steadfastly refused to watch it.
And then I watched a
and
bit
then
of
you
it,
watched
and then like it was like,
It's-
and then I heard about the third season, and
It is so dumb. It is amazing. Okay, so Ouija Power actually tried singing the lyrics of memory while playing Clara's theme from the 2013 proms and made it through about 50% of the lyrics.
So is it that similar?
I guess so.
Wow. I don't remember what Clara's theme is at all.
I don't remember memory from Cats that well either, so...
Yeah. I don't remember that one the best either. Okay.
They both are like an orchestra kind of thing. That's all I know.
Yeah. Technically an orbit. Let's just...
No, that is a fucking gorgeous orbit.
17? That's... I guess it's fine. There's no atmosphere.
There's no atmosphere. It's the moon.
Oop. That is not the right node to pull. Okay. So we want to be much tighter.
I enjoy singing the lyrics to the wrong songs. Now, 11, that's a little close. Oh, 113, that's fine.
We're at 17 on that side, so yeah.
Yeah. I just read the other side as 11, not 113.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I think there are mountains that are that high.
Right, yeah, yeah. The moon's cool. There's nothing stops mountains from happening, particularly on the moon.
The moon's big enough that gravity actually prevents things from getting any higher. I think.
Does it actually?
I know it is. I know Mars has high enough gravity that the mountains can't be any taller.
Mars also has some of the highest mountains.
Mars does have the tallest mountains in the solar system, but they can't be any taller because gravity would prevent it.
The mountains are actually the maximum height.
I believe.
I didn't realize that
Mars has maximum height mountains.
I didn't realize in real life there was a height limit to terrain. I always just assumed you could go as pretty much as high as you wanted to.
Well, I mean, it all depends on the body because, like, I don't remember the name of the asteroid, but a few years back there was, or suppose it was a comet, not an asteroid. There was a comet that they landed a probe on. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I heard about that.
So that probe is shaped almost exactly like a rubber, or not the probe, the comet that it landed on, shaped almost exactly like a rubber duck.
That's great. I didn't know that one.
It's 3 spheroids,
Oh,
one
like
larger one on top, and then a bill on the one on top.
That's pretty incredible.
And so there's nothing you can really say on that is a mountain that is higher than something else.
Right.
The whole thing is just sort of an abstract lump.
I thought that was what comets pretty much were.
Yeah, exactly. Because comets don't have enough gravity to have gravity turn everything spherical.
Okay, so let's look at the right body. And
I don't know. We could pick a point on Minimus to land on the moon.
I think that would be.
It won't work so well.
I don't think it would work great. Okay, so
remember, this part of it is the front.
This is the front. The middle part here.
The middle of
middle.
this is the Earth facing.
So we could probably land like I would like to land in the upper quadrant of this. I think.
Like, so why don't you mark that X anomaly?
That excellent. That's a good.
Ooh, keep that up.
It'll show where we are in relation to that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we can just apparently do this.
Set a landing target? Isn't that cheating?
Let's see
what
how
does
that
that even
works.
do?
Let's see how that works. Hey, look at that. X marks the spot.
Let's just double check that I'm correct about which side is facing Kerbin. I mean, it is, but yeah, okay.
You were correct. Okay, so...
And we're in a retrograde orbit around?
We're going this way, yeah.
So that would be a retrograde orbit, right?
I believe so.
Ouija Power looked it up, and it does look like a rubber duck. I've seen colorized pictures of it where they made it yellow and red, and it literally might be a giant rubber duck.
Can you pull a picture up for me, please?
I would like to see a picture of this.
Total Warrior says the feels when you realize moonlight is only sunlight. Almost all light in our solar system comes from the sun. Oh wow, that thing looks.
I don't know that that's.
It may not be the best picture, but
I
that's a
don't know
pretty
if that's
compelling
a
case
genuine
for
picture.
me. That's
nope. That's a real picture. Okay.
That's not a real asteroid. That's like a bad plaster model of an asteroid. Okay, let me face the right direction, then I'll warp us to do this maneuver.
I know this guy posted the photo. And
Okay,
I'm trying to
the
one that
colorized.
I'm thinking of. Yeah, he posted it a few days ago. Let's look through. Oh, and you wanted to see this.
Oh, cool.
It's the same guy. Oh, here we go.
That's really great. That's really great. You should definitely link that in the chat if you can.
So this is this guy's an actual astronomer, and he went and colorized this photo, it's photos from the probe. The comet was rotating, so they can see it from every angle because they were trying to like map it, and he painted it.
Are the maps are the scans of that public?
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, wow.
3D model.
I was just
Curious what it actually looks like.
What it actually looks like, and the dumber suggestion I have: have you ever considered 3D printing a
3D printing a comet?
It's not the
The
most
problem
interesting
with that
thing.
is a comet doesn't really have a nice flat base, which you kind of need for 3D printing.
That's a good point.
And the other problem with that is, like, my 3D printer keeps breaking. I kind of wonder if I should buy, like, a better one. I don't want a third 3D printer. I mean, I do kind of want a third 3D printer. I don't know. What do you think, Chad? How many 3D printers should a man own?
What is the correct number? Is it greater than 2? Okay, so now look where passing very nicely over this.
Yeah, it looks pretty close.
I'm gonna try, because we have all this extra fuel. I'm gonna try doing the thing I heard, which is if you come down on the periapsis, it's better.
Total Warrior says you should have one of each model so you know which is best, and Ouija Power thinks you should have 3, one for every dimension.
That's a compelling case.
These are both good suggestions.
There's a lot more than 3 models, though, aren't there?
I don't think I could afford to have the space to have one of every printer, even if like every printer company decided to just like send them to me
Just for free.
Just for free.
I swear this is gonna crash this into the. Well, it's definitely not gonna crash this.
Do you. So yeah, the current problem with the 3D printer, if you're curious, is I had the nozzle got clogged. So I tried to unclog the nozzle, and then in the first print that I did with the unclogged nozzle, the nozzle clogged back up again. So then I thought, all right, at the same time that I got the tiny little 0.04 millimeter rods that you need to unclog a 3D printer nozzle, I got some spare nozzles. So I stuck one of those on, and I thought it was all going to be good. I left it printing overnight, and the nozzle was dripping like crazy because I didn't tighten it down enough, so it was just leaking everywhere. But the print turned out fine, except for the fact that it had like little turds of burnt plastic basically all over the entire thing. And that was on Friday, and so I cleaned it up on Friday, but I haven't actually had time to put it all back together again. Yeah?
You know, I realized something very important.
What's that?
Planets move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, planets move.
I told you were in a retrograde orbit. Did I not?
Yes, you were.
Right.
I mean, but like I just, I'm lining it up like it's just 2 things that stay exactly relative to each other.
Except they don't.
Except they don't. So if we go around again, it's actually gonna be much closer.
Maybe the
No, this is
pressure
lying to me.
wrong.
This is not the case.
Yeah, I don't know, because so the nozzles said they're 0.4 millimeters as well, but they seem to be putting out way more plastic. But I didn't turn up my extrusion multiplier, so the pressure should be fine. I don't know. I may not know enough about all this kind of stuff to actually do it properly.
Okay. I think. So also this thing is showing the last orbit rather than the next orbit, which would be more useful. I thought it was showing the next orbit. So we're gonna fix the problem. I've never tried landing on a very specific point like this before, so I'm learning how to do it live.
The most specific point we've ever landed on was the wrong hemisphere.
Yes, it was.
That's the closest we've ever gotten to where we were aiming.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to actually like this. If I could pull this off, it'll be much easier to rescue those Kerbins in the future because I could actually just like nail it then.
Aim at them.
Instead of like having a journey.
You'll still need a rover, I think,
to rescue them.
Yeah,
that would definitely help.
Because you're not going to land within like 100 meters of them.
Well, if we land in the center of this X, NASA could do it, right?
No,
they?
SpaceX could do it.
SpaceX.
NASA still has 100-kilometer landing ellipses generally.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Landing is even more complicated in real life than I thought it was.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think you could land in a 100-meter ellipse.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, probably not.
The center of the X is a much, much bigger area than that.
Is it? I guess it is, yeah. It'll probably constrict as we
This
get
is
down.
the entire moon.
Okay, that's going to be good. So we're just going to add our little maneuver here.
That X would be like 700 miles
Yeah,
long. No, yeah, at least 700 miles long.
Estimated burn time of only 17 seconds. Wow. Well, okay. Let's do it. I may not time accelerate much on this landing because last time I time accelerated the landing,
That
I
was
totally fucked
kind
it
of
up.
what fucked us up. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I remember that.
Can we see the giant X in this view? No, we don't get to see the giant X in this view. That's too bad.
Oh, that's a shame.
Come on. Oh no. What's the problem? Are we out of mono? We're out of monopropellant. Uh-oh.
I told you you'd want more monopropellant.
You did. You did. I also used it poorly, for sure. Come on. You can rotate. You can do this.
It's going slowly.
I'm encouraging it. It's a beautiful rocket.
Wait a couple orbits. You'll be fine. You'll be
I
fine.
don't want to wait a couple orbits though. We're in the location like right now. I should just start burning gently and
That would be the other thing to do.
yeah. My location,
I don't know what it's talking about. 7 seconds to burn off 400 meters a second, but
it's talking about 10 seconds to burn off 400 meters per second.
still seems low.
Yeah, it does. I gotta ditch this now. It's done.
Ouija Power has. You did your staging wrong, didn't you?
No,
Oh, that's just its own stage. The other
for
stage.
some reason.
All right,
Yes.
sure. Why not?
Let's just get rid of that.
Ouija Power has found one of the greatest pictures that could be used in a caption contest.
Ooh.
Well, let's do a caption contest. Show us the picture.
Let's extend the landing gear.
I'll come up with some jokes.
We're a little off.
Oh, those landing gear don't look super straight. Are they supposed to look like that?
I'm pretty sure they actually are.
Okay. Link incoming in 3.
Yeah.
So you're still got a horizontal speed of over 15 meters a second.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to bleed a little bit of that off.
64, 11, empty, 29, go!
Don't I wanna... Which way do I need to burn to bleed it off?
Well, you're now up to 22.75, so the opposite of the
opposite
direction
of what I
that you've
just
been
did.
doing.
Yes. How high are we? How long do I have before we crash? Impact time is 1 minute.
1 minute.
Okay. So I got a little... I could fidget a little bit.
So you're going down 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
I'm gonna just drop slower now.
6. I would stop bleeding off speed before you start going the other way.
Yes. So
6 meters a second.
That's perfectly reasonable.
I would like it to be lower, but you can wait until you can see the ground.
That is actually amazing. Yes.
That is quite a picture.
You could I don't know how to start a new meme, but that seems like a decent place to start from. Okay, let's bleed off some of this vertical speed. Let's get down. We're gonna pick it up again slowly.
When you realize Superman and Clark Kent are the same person.
Falling.
Sorry, I want to focus on this landing here for a second, and then we'll get back to the caption contest.
You know what I hate? Falling. It's scary. It's dangerous. Where's that anomaly? It's over that way somewhere?
Don't go towards the anomaly.
I'm not going anywhere.
You've got your horizontal speed down to like 3 meters a second. This is going.
Oh,
pretty
nice.
well.
It's even. I think it's even dropping very, very slowly.
Making my wife and me some homemade chili.
Well, our engines just crashed.
All right.
It continues.
We're going less than free fall speed.
Yeah, because I slowed down a bunch. Because like being around.
No, I mean this is good that you're
Yep.
going less than free fall speed. I'm commentating.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you for following.
Hey.
Like
Snow Wolf, thank you for following us.
Okay.
Come on in chat and say hi.
Come up with a caption if you feel like it. I think am I increasing our... Okay, I'm now increasing our speed
We got
slightly.
60 seconds to landing.
We're a lot closer than we were, though, and...
I feel good about this.
Feel good about
I feel
this?
like
I might have actually, like...
I feel like this is gonna land. The Science Junior will empty out the science.
Mm-hmm. "40 seconds to impact." At what point do I, like,
Just what?
I don't know. I need to land on more planets. I need to get more used to doing it.
At what point do you land? Anytime.
At
in the
what
next
point do you,
40
like-
seconds.
So I should lean. Well, okay, I don't want to go up again. That would be bad.
You're
Probably
asking-
still a little too high to bleed off that much speed.
I don't know how powerful this engine is because you keep running it at different thrusts.
we
you have
have-
30 seconds, so you need to start thinking about doing something because you're going real fast. You're falling at 60 meters a second, so you ought to be bleeding that off.
Okay. Let's say 20 meters a second for now until we're closer.
You can throttle this down below a thrust-to-weight ratio of 1.
I could.
So if
Maybe
you,
I should have done that.
yeah, if you do that, then you can just like slowly bleed off. You're trying to do a SpaceX hover slam.
I guess I am.
They have computers that do that know exactly how powerful the engine is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Minimus Man says suicide burn it, but
So suicide burn it is you fall further and then burn it a bunch? Or...
what a hover slam is, this is the burn that SpaceX does for landing,
Yeah.
is they burn such that you have 0 velocity,
Mm-hmm.
0 acceleration at 0 altitude, and then you turn the engine off.
Yes.
You can't do that by hand.
No, that's...
You need a computer that knows all of these things and has a radar altimeter and...
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other features
Yeah.
that...
So what other people do is they hover,
Yeah.
which is what I was suggesting that you do.
Is that... What is a suicide burn, then? Is that a hover?
Suicide burn is another name for a hover slam, Jeff.
Okay.
You may mean something different. If you do, I don't know exactly what you mean by a suicide burn.
Still 20... I've picked up a little horizontal speed, unfortunately. Try tweaking the...
You're below 5. Just stay there. You need to reduce your vertical speed because you're increasing vertical speed constantly.
Yes.
Find the happy medium where you're just slowly slowing down.
Well, I went a little too far.
I would stay like right there.
A little... Because we're still going... Like, I still managed to pull us up somehow.
No, if you go above 30%, you're going to thrust the other direction. Stay at
Right
this
here,
thrust,
yeah.
at exactly this thrust. Because you're just over a
Mhm.
TWR of 1 right now.
And we're going to hit at around a vertical speed of probably 2, which is where I would like to...
Hopefully 0, I think. It's your horizontal speed I'm worried about.
It's picking up. Well...
You just can't manage to land vertically, can you?
I fucking can't.
I mean, technically, Total Warrior, this thing functions almost as well on its side as it does.
Well, except the
Landed
side we landed
vertically?
on was the wrong side to land on. Except for that part.
Why was it the wrong side to land on?
It was the side that had our communication device on it?
Oh.
Yeah.
See, okay, I've got an idea.
What's your idea?
Retract it, extend it, retract it.
No, it exploded.
Oh, it exploded.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. We tried to. Then I picked it up again on the fall. Minus Man.
Blew the fucking antenna.
We blew the fucking antenna. I blew the fucking antenna off. Yes. So now this thing
Okay.
is, it's a it has all the science on it. It can do a whole bunch of science. But I can't tell anyone about the science instead.
AVP King 1987, thank you for following.
Thank you for lifting our spirits a little bit after. I don't. It picked up again. I couldn't figure out how to reduce it as we were falling.
You aim the opposite direction of what direction you're going in.
Yes.
This is not. I mean, it's rocket science.
It's rocket,
but it's merely rocket engineering.
The problem with Total War is you're hovering, you and go like that. I don't know. It doesn't.
You can hover. Hovering is not a thing that's difficult to do in Kerbal Space Program. You had
terrible.
ample fuel.
Yes.
You had a thrust to weight ratio of well above 1. Or well below 1, whatever you wanted, any range. Yeah, I would put a monopropellant tank on the first stage and also on the probe stage.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would suggest
this
doing,
one has a monopropellant tank. It's got a big one.
then put one on the second stage.
It's also got a big one.
They both have one.
Yes. Apparently, I think I left it on during an acceleration, which is probably the problem. But also we could
I
just
would
put more.
Put one on the probe stage too.
And yes,
and put some RCS on the probe itself.
Yeah.
Because RCS could definitely help you while landing.
It definitely does.
The other thing I would suggest doing, if you're going to blow some part of the rocket off every time you land it,
Is put
make
more
sure
parts.
there's double redundancies for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't need a redundant flight computer because that can't possibly
Explode.
Well, it can explode,
But
but it can't affect you.
If that was the design, that thing would have been fine. Like
Exactly.
Yes.
So let's just make sure we have redundant parts for everything. What
Uh-huh.
else could fail?
I don't think anything else can really fail.
Okay. Well, only the one thing can be sheared off. So
the
easily.
most important thing could be sheared off.
I still think more monopropellant.
I agree with you. I just I got interrupted by myself. You know, I'm good at that.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, you could totally stuff those in the trunk.
I was gonna put some here
Why don't you just put another tank?
and then put one in the trunk. Because aren't we at the point where more tank is not gonna be helpful? Does this not go in the trunk? Is this the first thing that won't live in the trunk?
I don't think more tank is a problem.
Okay, well, let's put more tank then. I like how everything is it's going to live in the Science Junior no matter where it goes. Let's put 2 of
What is
these.
the Science Junior? Who cares?
I want to. Oops. Close that. I want to open up the Science Junior and see if it pokes through. It does. Okay.
Like, I think putting those there, that has always affected your aerodynamics, and the aerodynamics of this one
Are bad.
are not great.
Also, we don't need all of the. We need that one.
The double interstage there.
Yeah, the weird interstage. We don't need that. So that'll help a few things.
Total Warrior, what about a pilot?
It's a probe. It doesn't have a pilot. So you're saying put this also?
You can either double up on those, or isn't there just a straight inline RCS tank?
Not that size.
Yeah, but there's one for the smaller size. You could put it under the second stage engine.
Is there? Do we?
Or
Oh,
is
we
there
do.
not?
Okay, there is. Whoop. Sometimes it comes up with these crazy notions to have way too much power. That seems like a good idea.
I mean,
Let me readjust this engine then.
Yeah, no, that goofy picture is good.
It's real
I'm
good.
still thinking of my best joke. My instinct is always to go too dirty with these things, and it's probably not even funny.
So, should I have more thrust than that? Like,
No, that is thrust on Kerbin.
that's on Moon.
Oh, that's thrust on the moon?
That's thrust on the Moon. For the first, we're looking at this stage only here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and we're limited to 16%.
Oh, don't worry about limiting it or not
Okay.
limiting it. The issue is that when you're landing, you need to find a throttle position such that
Okay.
if you tap once, you start going up.
Mhm.
If you tap once the other way, you start going down.
Right.
And
it
if you
just
don't
stay
do
there.
anything, you just kind of stay there.
Okay.
And so that may be throttling it down. That may be picking a certain spot.
Okay.
You'll have plenty of time to do that on the moon. But that's
I
what
add
you
more
need to do.
monopropellant. Do I want more of these up here?
I think you have enough. If you have more, you're just going to run out of monopropellant.
Yeah.
Because
true.
everyone uses monopropellant.
Let's move these up.
Total Warrior and I are on the same page. Worry about it when you get to the moon.
It's it's you put it off, right?
Yeah.
You put it off. I fucked something else up. The staging was fucked up. Okay. Yeah. So let's fix that. See, we want to activate the engine before we blow it off the ship. That usually helps.
That sounds like a good piece of advice. Add time to impact and suicide burn time to the Kerbal Engineer Redux menu. Can you tell us how to do that?
Yeah. Can you tell us how to do that? I'm fairly new to the Kerbal Redux menu.
I think this would be in flight.
Yeah, I
and
think
not
it would be in
here.
flight. So let's fly it again. We've only flown this mission like 20 times so far.
As if a Kerbal Engineer Redux actually can calculate your suicide burn time, then you could just
Okay, so
what?
What this?
Yeah.
Apparently we haven't fully done that on the launch pad. We should do that. Not right now.
All right.
So
They say click the KER button.
yep. KER.
I would imagine if you hit edit on maybe surface.
Yeah, it would be surface. Okay. So now we got all these options. You don't need orbital period. That seems like not surface stuff. G-force biome, situation, slope, impact time, impact biome.
Would this be in the surface or the rendezvous category?
Yeah, actually, it could be in rendezvous too, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you need to pick the category. There you go. If you pick the surface category.
Altitude, vertical acceleration, horizontal acceleration. We have all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terminal velocity. Do we want that?
Terminal velocity? You don't need terminal velocity.
Okay.
Terminal velocity is how fast you can fall through the atmosphere before the atmosphere stops you.
Impact launch. Okay, that's...
You're looking for time to impact
We have time to impact.
and suicide burn time.
Maybe it's in miscellaneous? I don't see suicide burn time. Thermal? No.
They say try vessel.
Vessel. Surface acceleration. Suicide burn. Altitude distance. DV.
Install them both.
There's 3.
Install all 3 of them.
Bam, bam, bam.
And just keep scrolling down because these sound cool. So
Wait,
let's see what else we do. You got them?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I
you didn't.
need to... The menu moved around on me, so we don't really need
We
the
don't
air
care
intake
about intake air.
and
Suicide burn, altitude,
these are the things that are already installed.
TV.
We can
Yeah,
remove.
that's what you want.
We don't want all that stuff. Okay, we got heading, pitch, roll,
Yeah,
pitch rate, roll
this
rate.
is probably good.
Okay, that's gonna be okay. So that'll
So if you want to do a suicide burn, just do what that says. I think.
that's cool. That's really cool.
I guess there's no good way to practice, so let's just go to the moon.
We could start quick saving. Like perhaps we should start quick saving at some point.
You don't want to save, scum. And Minimus Man says another good tip is to make a separate HUD menu and then add your landing stuff there.
Yes, I now realize there's a custom. You can make a new custom menu and stuff.
I mean, that's another thing you could do on the way, I suppose, if you want.
Yeah. after we launch?
Yeah, not right now. But
Forgot to press that down.
sorry, I'm a little tired. I was up late last night, making sure everything was good on the podcast and the websites, and then I had to go get my car serviced this morning.
Did you take an Uber or something then?
Yeah, I took an Uber here.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I need to take my car in too. It's just such a pain in the neck. So like, I guess I should.
When you're just like a single person and
Yes.
you work from like noon till 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, my driver had a Model S, which was pretty cool. So we
The
talked
Tesla?
about Teslas.
Did you see the latest Elon Musk had a crazy plan for America story? Thank you for
Stewie
following.
Griffin, 577. Thank you for following.
Apparently, it'll only take 100 square miles of solar panels to completely power the United States of America.
Oh,
And
that's nothing new.
And only 1 square mile of batteries.
That's he just tweeted that the other day, I guess.
I don't know. I just saw like a big news story about this, so I assumed it was.
I mean, typically when you're talking about solar panels to power the entire United States, you talk about it in terms of metropolitan area.
Okay.
So that's much smaller than Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You just paved Los Angeles and covered it in solar panels. You could very nearly power all of North America.
There
I
was
support
a map
paving
which,
Los Angeles. just for the record.
for the record, you
Yeah.
want to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a map which
You need to be.
I need to be
further
up. Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm trying to go up more. There was a map which apparently he provided, which just showed a red.
It shows a tiny little
a
yellow
red
dot.
cube in Utah, I think it was.
Okay.
I think it was Utah.
Yeah, there are lakes in Utah smaller than the amount of surface area that you would need solar panels for. Here's a fun fact.
Why are we?
Because you're still in the atmosphere.
Oh shit! Okay, I circularized way too soon.
Way too soon.
I was looking at WAPs like that. Damn, that's high. We need to lose this backstage.
So here's an interesting question. You take most of North America covered in solar panels just to power Vegas. Actually, it turns out Vegas has a lot of renewable energy.
Huh.
Because the
There's lots of sun there?
Hoover Dam
Oh, Hoover Dam.
is right nearby, and
Yeah.
that powers most of Las Vegas and a lot of Los Angeles.
Powers a lot of things.
It powers a lot of the whole West Coast.
Yeah.
And sucks up the entire Colorado River. But
Mhm.
besides that,
Besides that.
Vegas has more renewable power than you might think looking at it.
So you're in favor of building a giant 100 miles of solar panels?
Only if they destroy Los Angeles in the process.
Okay. I don't.
I
think
mean,
you're gonna
I'd
get-
support it otherwise, but I'd be especially in favor of it
if they
if
destroy
it
Los
involved
Angeles.
destroying Los Angeles.
That's not a position I've heard before, but it's been a little hot then at your place.
Why do you think this has anything to do with the weather? Don't be ridiculous. Yes, it's
Okay.
too hot. I don't know why people live here.
Did you do any further research on that topic?
No, I
you
don't-
didn't? Okay, you don't care to know.
I don't
either?
care to know. I just if you went with only solar panel power, it would be a bit of a problem. But there's a lot of options with solar power for storage. Obviously, Elon Musk is pushing batteries. He's currently supplying batteries to power all of Australia. 100 days or they're free.
Right, I heard that.
It's coming up on 100, so
Is it?
we'll see what. I think so.
We're
yeah.
gonna see what's gonna happen there.
It's been like 70 days or something. We'll
Oh,
see what's
wow.
going to happen there. But there's a lot of options. Like one popular option is if you've got like a valley or a hole you don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be uphill, but you can pump water in there, then you let the water out and run turbines and generate the power again later.
That's cool.
That can be actually super efficient. Like 70-80% efficient almost.
So that's a weird kind of battery where you move water up a hill and
Yeah, it's
then
called
take it down again later.
pumped hydro storage.
Interesting. I've never heard of that. That's
Never
really
heard of
cool.
it. Yeah, no, that's
That makes a lot of sense.
anytime you've got cheap power and then you want to save it for later, you can pump it up a hill. You can another thing that is occasionally done. I don't know if this is actually done in the real world or if this is just a hypothetical. But you can also make something. Whoops, shit! I just. Sorry.
That's okay. We're in an orbit. Everything's fine. I don't think they noticed anything.
No, they shouldn't have noticed that. I don't
the
think
monitors were turned off.
Yeah, I bumped the power strip that powers all of our monitors. Whoops.
It's fine. Okay.
Oh, you know what they did notice though? That also powers the hub that powers the camera. So the camera probably turned out.
It came back.
It seems to be back.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. I hope so.
Don't worry about it. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So another way you can save power for later is if you make something really hot. So and this is this isn't used for recycling power, but because you use electricity to heat aluminium plants are built anywhere there's cheap hydropower. Because you can aluminium, you just dig it out of the dirt.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really, you don't really mine for aluminium ore that much. Like there are places where it's stronger and places where it's weaker, but the main thing is power. So anytime they're building a giant dam somewhere, they're going to be building an aluminum smelter right next door.
That's really cool.
But so you can, if you want to store heat, you can just like heat up some iron or heat up some molten salt or something. It's then trickier to get that back into electricity.
Right.
Because you have to pour water on it. The water boils, turns into steam, turns a turbine. That makes energy. So it's not quite as efficient. But, you know, you can just dig a big hole and fill it full of molten steel and then, you know, slowly tap that energy off.
The water thing sounds cooler. But, so, you said it's around 80% efficient?
I think it can be up to 80%.
Oh, okay, up to, but, like, isn't that pretty good efficiency even for batteries? That's kind of incredible.
It's the reason is because you don't lose
Yeah,
anything
you don't
to
lose
gravity.
the
The gravity's
water.
not
Yeah,
going anywhere. You lose a little bit of the water.
Okay, sure, you lose a little bit
But
of
the
water.
gravity doesn't have any sort of efficiency problem.
Yeah.
So there are obviously, that's an orbit.
It's not currently.
There's obviously tons
That's an
of economic reasons for pumps to be very efficient. And pumps are just like a DC motor, which can be 99% efficient. And then a generator is also a DC motor, it turns out. So it could be literally the same thing, and you just run it backwards to make power and forwards to spend power.
That's real cool.
But that turns out to not be very efficient for reasons.
Right.
So you have two, and then they can both be, you know, in the mid 90% efficiency. And then, so your only losses are friction and evaporation and, you know, a deer drinking out of your reservoir.
So theoretically, if we got way too many people to just, their job is they get a bucket and they carry it up a mountain.
You could make power
You could make power that way?
It would not be very efficient.
Of course not.
Like, you'd be spending way more power feeding those people in order that they didn't, like, starve and eat each other. But okay, so here's a fun statistic. You know how besides nuclear energy, all of the power that is used on Earth, the 100% of it comes from the sun, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
How much of the energy from the sun do you think makes it to the Earth?
I would say it's probably in the vein of a less than 1%.
That is very correct. I'll give you a hint. What I'm really looking for is the number of zeros in front of that number.
Oh, the number. Okay. Damn it. We need.
Or, you know, 10 to the minus how many you think it is, if you prefer scientific notation.
I always forget. Are we going this way or that way? Doesn't matter. We need to burn prograde. How many zeros in that, or the scientific notation?
How much less than a percent?
How much less percent? Let's say, okay, so I'm gonna say 5 zeros.
You're way off.
Okay, I'm like way
It is like
too.
10 to the minus 17.
Okay, yes.
Less than a billion, less than a millionth of a billionth of a percent.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the sun is very inefficient at powering the Earth. It's not
The
really
sun
trying
is-
to. Oh, I guess
The sun is making that power, like that power is just going out into space.
just constantly.
So all you need to do to catch some of that is just, you know, put some solar panels in all the places that Earth isn't. Which there's a lot of places that Earth isn't.
It's true. There are many places that Earth isn't. As we can see from this game, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of places that Earth like. I mean,
That's only a small portion of the places that Earth isn't.
it's probably like most. If you were to build solar,
Minimus Man, go ahead.
if you were to build solar, giant space ones, they would probably be near Earth, right? Near-ish.
It all depends on what you want to do.
I guess so. I mean, you there's like Dyson spheres and stuff, of course,
Mhm.
but I think some segment of the people might get mad if we blocked off a large percentage of the sun. But, I don't know.
Why would you have to? Why would they get mad if you blocked off a large percentage of the sun? I just told
On
you that
principle.
less than a millionth
Right,
of a
right, yeah,
billionth
yeah.
of a percent gets to Earth. So you could build a Dyson swarm that would block out the entire sun,
Mhm.
except for a millionth of
Millionth
a
of-
billionth of a
And no
percent
one would
of it,
notice.
and no one on Earth would notice. You need to like
Yeah,
increase that a few orders of magnitude if you wanted to not like knock out the satellites in orbit as
Mhm.
well, but this is the plane that you're gonna make. Okay,
Does it fly?
it fly?
Does it fly? Does it work?
does that fly in real life or in Kerbal Space Program?
Is that one of the era of like pre-flight planes? Because it looks like one of them. It looks like the one that has like the bouncy wing on top. You're researching this?
Why not?
Sure.
I don't know why a reverse image search from that goes to Hugo Boss.
Maybe they used it in advertising for some reason. Seems like something that could happen.
I guess Hugo Boss funded that.
The plane?
I have no idea.
It does fly. Look up the flapjack. Are any of these the?
The Vought XF5U. I think is this plane? No, that may not be this. Vought V173 is a flying pancake. That is one wild looking plane.
Oh wow. Okay, so on the back of that weird wing, those are the flaps. Wow.
It does
Okay.
appear that way. Why, if you know, why did they decide to build a plane with a round wing?
Do you know when they built this plane? You lost it.
34
34.
or thereabouts.
1934.
1934. Yeah, no, 2034 is when they built that plane.
There's also 1834, although they would be a little odd too.
If it was built in 1834 and it flew, we would definitely know about it.
Yeah. It's only rudder.
No flaps, only rudder.
Jesus.
So it technically flies, right?
Is this a falling with style situation?
I don't know. I'll have to look up some more about that.
Thank
Crazy
you for
Wolf
following.
46. Thank you for following us.
Okay, we got. And we're in location. I'm
Only
sorry, I've
rudder
been
and
being
aileron.
distracted by all this cool plane talk. I would love to see a video of this flying. I doubt it exists because of the era it's from, but
I might. I'll see if I
It
can
might.
find a video of the flapjack. Oh, sorry, Google is making noise. God damn it, Google.
Google, you're not allowed to put noise automatically on your things, your doodles. Is there? That's not quite the. That's also a model. But
This does look like a model of a different plane.
it also doesn't look like it flies.
This looks like a full-size model of that plane.
that is a full size model of that plane.
That's kind of flying. It's a
kinda
little
flying.
hop there.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
flying better than our planes fly in Kerbal Space Program. I'll give it that. I've seen that
it
one
seems
before.
like they called a bunch of different planes
The
the flying
flapjack? The flying.
some variant of a flying pancake.
It's a good name when your plane looks that stupid.
Yeah,
I've heard of that one. I think this is an experimental
the
either U.S.
V-137.
It's
This
during
one
it's
was
a World
in-
War II one, right?
Yeah, 1942 to 1947. They
Mhm.
built one of them apparently.
Yeah, like a lot of people get really.
During the 1930s, Charles H. Zimmerman was a noted aeronautical engineer who advocated the use of discoidal aircraft. Why?
I believe everyone was very excited about the the flying wing designs, but
Yes, but this looks like it has none of the qualifications of a delta wing. Like a delta wing goes
the other way
in
yeah,
all
yeah.
the opposite
all
directions.
the opposite directions.
And this is talking about like symmetrical wings, but I can't think of a plane that doesn't have symmetrical wings. Oh wow,
Well,
yeah,
let's-
that's actually flying.
That's okay. I believe it's a plane that flies. I would love to know why.
Yeah, no, that's what I want to find out is why.
Is it more fuel efficient? Is it better for like?
I'm gonna search discoidal aircraft.
You're
Okay,
gonna
here's
get mostly-
a patent on this airplane.
Oh, cool. Is it going to tell us why it's cool?
Yep.
Why it matters?
Give me a minute. I'll read this.
Sure. That's a little low. Yeah, I'm a little scared of that.
Okay, so this patent is
8,000 meters?
particularly on a VTOL discoidal aircraft.
That's crazy
This
and
is
awesome.
a straight up flying saucer that they've patented here.
Okay, no, it totally is. It's 100%.
This is a straight up flying saucer.
For some reason they've stapled an RV on the bottom, but it's definitely a flying saucer.
Yeah. Okay, so what patents did they cite? A toroidal aircraft.
That's also a shape that I did not expect an aircraft to be. Okay, so it's time to pull up the map of the moon here.
Yeah, maybe it's aliens from the 1930s who designed this plane. I
Maybe
don't
we're
know.
gonna just land here this time. Because they'll definitely hit a biome we didn't land in before. Actually, those are highlands.
Okay, this yeah, that makes
these
more
are
sense.
lowlands, okay,
It's
so-
they may have just wanted to make planes that look like UFOs.
Oh, okay. That's a legitimate thing.
Yeah, no, that seems to be the goal of why they wanted to make disc-shaped airplanes. It's a perfectly legitimate goal, I guess.
I agree. I support
Why not?
them in their efforts to come on. No.
Yep, nope, up, huh?
It's the thing rotates real quick, and I just want it to be there-ish. That's close. enough.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna make this little maneuver, and then we're gonna come in for our nice little landing. Should I quick save? No.
Don't save scum.
Okay.
Like, it would make the stream way more entertaining, but also that's cheating. We're already cheating enough.
Okay. Sure.
Or do, like, I don't care. I'm not your real dad.
This maneuver is okay. I mean, well, we're just gonna come in for
It's a
landing.
real subtle thing to push your apoapsis around without touching the rest of your orbit.
It's too subtle for
Yeah,
this
I
thing.
don't worry about it.
Want to get it as vertical as possible, and then
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty vertical.
You were right on the money there.
Okay. Let's warp to that maneuver. Actually, let's get into the right position first, and then warp to that maneuver. We have plenty of monitor font left. I might even be able to. Let's see. We got This is the mono. Okay, that's a full mono-repellent tank.
Nice.
Cool.
Don't waste it.
Well, we still have like.
You got a bunch, but
we got a
don't
bunch.
waste it.
I'm not gonna waste it. We're going.
And you've two more full monopropellant tanks as well.
Oh right. Yeah, we definitely do. Why can't I work?
So speaking of UFOs, I've always wondered why now that like remote control drones and model planes and stuff are so ludicrously cheap, why there aren't more UFO sightings.
I wonder if it's just people are more used to seeing flying things.
Still, you could, like, if you wanted to make your drone be mistaken for a UFO, that would not be a hard thing to do.
It would not be a hard thing to do, no.
Like,
But-
I always thought it would be fun to get an RC blimp and just really trick it out with some lights that were...
Some LEDs and stuff?
Well, no, not just LEDs. LEDs that are remarkably too powerful.
Okay.
So you could have a beam that would be visible on the ground and stuff. And
Oh,
then,
like get one of those stupidly powerful lumen things that are like...
Don't worry about how you'd make it, but...
Sure. No, it would
have...
I believe you could do that. In my head, I can see how that would work.
It would have 20 minutes of flight time and lighting effects time of like 5 minutes on a backpack full of drone batteries.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And then you
wouldn't want much more than that.
No, you don't want much more than that. And then you just fly it over a populated area, like a concert, the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh shit!
What have you done? You've gone too far?
No, we're on the dark side of the moon.
No, we're on the night side of the moon. And the dark side of the moon.
It's more the dark side because this
we're on both. Yes.
The no signal. Oh, we have the no signal thing. Where's our?
I always thought
our relay station is in a wrong.
right
That's not a. This is the relay station.
Oh.
This also may relay, but it's mostly that.
Well, get to the light side and then pick a landing spot on the light side of the moon.
Yeah, I will do that. We need a new landing site.
Remember, from here to here.
Okay, so this is where we're going. Then we're gonna go
right in the brown. That sounds good.
We want to be. I want to make sure we land in the brown because the brown is a different biome than where we landed before. That's gonna pass over our flight path.
I guess no one likes my UFO idea.
I think the problem with your UFO idea is that no one is interested in hearing from. No one is interested in hearing about UFOs anymore.
Really? You don't think if you flew a fucking UFO over the Hollywood Bowl that that would get people's attention?
It would get people's attention, but like, I don't know. I don't think like it has the same impact. I don't know why we were obsessed with UFOs in like the early 2000s and stuff, but.
So you think 2012 came and went and the world didn't end, so no one gives a shit anymore?
About UFOs in particular, yeah. If like I don't, it's not the hot conspiracy theory anymore. You gotta be hipper. You gotta be I guess more politically active in your weird conspiracy theories. I don't know why, but that's how it changed.
If you flew a UFO over and it said "Hail Putin," then that would get people.
Then you will get on the front of the New York Times. Yes, that's how you do it.
Businessman, I want to make a UFO crashed into the ground at my house for Halloween, made from pykrete, so I can put LEDs inside the craft and they show through it.
That sounds like
that sounds fun.
Yeah. What's pykrete?
Pykrete is, if I remember correctly, that is ice mixed with sawdust.
Oh right, pykrete. Yes.
I believe the MythBusters may have
made a shift
it
out
that
of it.
or popularized it, and it's quite tough. I once made a 20-foot long smoke-breathing dragon in the tree and on the roof of my friend's house for Halloween.
I remember that. That was really cool.
Actually, not once, but like 5 years in a row. But
well, you made it once, and
we
then
made
you
it
put
once,
up.
and then we kept using it.
You also had like a sound system that was attached to it. With voice modulation
every year, but yeah, the best was when we had. This was back in like the 90s, so having a PC with a sound card that could do real-time voice modulation was like a pretty neat thing
that no one had.
That not everyone had. So we had that, and then we hooked up a camera in it, And then, so basically, I was just sitting watching the camera, and then I had the voice modulation doing like some booming dragon voice, and I would make specific references to people's costumes and freak the shit out of them.
There were several small children.
Oh yeah, no,
ran
the
for their
small
lives.
children ran for their lives. Well, also at one point we had a skeleton in a shallow grave in the front yard, and that also scared people.
I don't remember the skeleton in the shallow grave. Did they
Well, I don't
jump
know.
out?
Maybe it was a skeleton or a
I didn't go
zombie,
every
or
year.
maybe just
Something.
someone laying in a ditch. I think it was more like someone laying in a ditch.
It's probably more somebody laying in a ditch. How is this not doing anything to our... Should probably not have that. Okay. Horizontal speed. If I...
Play Kerbal chatter voices from the UFO. That sounds like a good plan. That shouldn't be too hard to hook up either. I think...
Aha! It would help if our engine was on.
Oh, you were wondering why you weren't moving because your engine was off. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't even realize that. I saw you RCSing everywhere, and I was like, what do you expect the RCS to do?
There we go.
I think all of the Kerbal files, since it's made to be moddable, you can just find the MP3s like in your Steam data folder or whatever.
You should be able to.
You just like grab those, stick them on an old iPod or something, and put in silent tracks, and then just have a playlist on repeat. That would be the quickest way of doing that these days. What?
Our horizontal speed is measured in millimeters
Per second. I believe if you can keep it there, that'll be real nice.
That'll be real nice. Okay, so now we're a little high for the hovering business, I think. So it says that's where we need to start suicide burning, and that's how far we need to suicide burn. Shouldn't these numbers be? Oh, that's how far we are from the burn. Okay. DV. Do we have the DV?
Yeah. You will want to, if you're going to do a suicide burn, though, you need to unlimit your engine.
It's not limited.
Make sure it's not limited.
It's not limited.
All right. Because a suicide burn is full throttle. And extend your legs, also, if you're going to do a suicide burn. I maintain that a
we
suicide
shouldn't do
burn
this.
is insane.
I think the more I'm thinking about it, the more I agree with you. So we're going to bleed off a little bit of speed here. Just get down to...
Your horizontal speed is no longer measured in millimeters.
It is not. It's... That's increasing it? I don't... Let's see. K is that way.
That direction is decreasing.
Yeah, I need to...
You have plenty of mono propellants. So. You could be at a higher thrust than this as well, because you do have
a lot of speed.
Well, now you're bleeding off all of it. You really don't.
So you like just go like.
You go to like 45% throttle. I think that should be
Like right here.
Yeah, no, that 45, not 4.5. Sure.
Isn't it dropping too quickly now?
Yeah, and then you'll slowly reduce that.
Okay. So like this on the way down?
I don't know, sure.
Like it's very...
Well, you should either decide that you want to do a suicide burn, or
we're not doing a suicide burn.
If you're not doing a suicide burn, then you should limit the engine to like 14%, so you have more control.
Start with 20%. I think.
Sure, 21%. That's fine. 20.5.
That's wrong. I had this. It was.
It's going to end up being a different direction every time.
It's going to be the same direction, actually.
Why?
Because I'm not entirely sure why. We need to.
Oh, you need to slow down.
Yeah, I need to slow down. I mean, we need to. No, we're fine. I think. I think we're fine. Yeah, I think we're fine. So I want to bleed off this slowly as I get lower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even.
You don't want to go much slower than that because
We're still at 10 meters.
Descending.
I need to be lower though, because otherwise we're not going to descend.
You have at 20% on this engine, you have 9 minutes of burn time. So.
Oh, 9. Okay, so
You
I
have
shouldn't
no-
worry about the burn time. We're not leaving.
You're not ever flying away. You don't have
Yeah.
enough thrust to take off.
Hello.
Hello, Thangalang. How are you doing today? We are trying to land a probe on the moon.
There we go. That's the right direction.
See, I told you it's going to be a slightly different direction every time. Yeah, Minimus Man is saying kill your horizontal thrust. I think you're working on that.
There's not much. There's not much to kill. I'm trying to keep it like around 1 meter per second or lower, if I can. Coming down?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly even should be coming down slightly slower than we are right now. Just very slightly. Oh, this is finicky. We're almost hovering now. We're gently.
You are a little too close to hovering, I think.
You want me to? Okay, so I should be falling more.
Fall a little bit more and then
Okay.
get back to like 2 notches above this in like 6 seconds.
We'll
Okay, leave it there. I'm happy with that.
think. Okay, now we're back up to.
No, I'm happy with this.
You're happy with this? Just leave it.
Don't touch anything.
We're gonna be going up soon, aren't we? There we go.
Now,
Now
literally
leave
don't
it.
touch it.
Now, just let it just gently touch.
It's gonna take like 10 more seconds to land.
Yep,
Yeah, Minimus Man, if we fell faster, that would help.
it would help.
But in this case, we have a vast excess of fuel,
Mm-hmm.
and we really don't want to lose this one because
We've done this too many times.
we've done this a few too many times. So this is just gonna land just barely touching.
The horizontal speed is probably
now-
fine.
Kill your thrust as soon as you land, because this will tip it over if you don't kill it right now. Oh, and you landed on the side of a crater.
It's fine. That's
Okay.
what RCS is for.
Okay, stop RCSing.
I
Let it
just
settle
want to let
down.
it like stabilize.
Yeah.
Now I will turn it
Okay.
off. Okay. Can I turn it back?
Slope.
Can I turn it back on as I extend the antenna? I'm just scared. Okay,
It'll
that was
be
fine. That was fine. Great. Yes. Great. We did it. We landed in the
Alright.
crater. We did
All
it.
right, we did it.
We did it.
Now, let's send the science back home. Turn it into more science.
Okay. Transmit. Temperature scan. Turns out the moon is cold.
Yeah.
How's our electric? Oh,
The chat is applauding you.
yay!
That only deserves a golf clap.
I finally learned how to land, I think, slightly.
At least this time.
At least this time.
Warning, you're running out of electric charge. I would wait for all these things to transmit. Let that build back up a little bit.
Sure.
That's fine. So you use like 80 or 100 to transfer.
See, the Science Junior is going to give us 73 science.
That's good.
That's why we brought it. Oof. Maybe we should have waited. Oh, no, it actually made it all the way through in one.
Just enough.
Just
All right.
enough. Okay.
Maybe we should have actually checked to see how much power that was going to require.
It requires different amounts for everything.
I know.
I'm going to give us this nice
Let us charge all the way up again. A day on the moon is 28 days long, so.
Okay,
No
we
rush.
can't. There's no. I don't
No
think
more
there's any
temperature data?
There's no more temperature data.
Uh,
But now we have a moon.
we now have a moon probe.
I want this to go away. Ah, that's, yeah. Okay. Just extend this for aesthetic reasons,
Yeah,
and let's leave
for
this thing here.
symmetrical sake.
So.
Easy game, easy life. Is true.
You know the thing I hate in multiplayer gaming?
What's that?
The
This
phrase-
is not a multiplayer.
I know it's not, so it's fine to say easy here, but I despise people who say easy in multiplayer games. I'm sorry. Don't do it. We have a lot of science now.
Maybe I don't play enough multiplayer games to know why that's a problem. I don't
It's
know.
just a thing people say, and it's just like it's become the new thing. If you're an asshole and you want to make somebody mad on the internet, you say easy at them. That's what you do.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm deeply affected by it, and I don't know why.
Total Warrior says, you know what you should consider? The fact that real NASA pilots undergo years of training. Are you saying we didn't have years of training to do this?
Are you saying I'm not a real NASA pilot?
Them's fighting words.
So we could buy like 3 things if we wanted to get.
Let's buy like 3 things.
So we can get the field science. We can definitely get this, and then get.
Total Warrior is saying, so I think you have done superb.
Thank you. Have you landed yet? Total
Yeah,
Warrior?
I mean, also, not only does NASA have real astronauts who train for years, but they also have, like,
Better
programmers
computers.
who program flight computers.
Mm-hmm. And they have like a pre-planned flight path that's not just guesstimating on the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would need to upgrade our science facility to get like these things.
I mean, we're
Is
gonna
that
have
the
to
rhino? That's
do.
the mammoth.
We're gonna have to do that, but maybe not now.
That's the griffin. Where's the rhino? There's the rhino.
There's the rhino.
There's
Yeah,
the rhino. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna get there, but not for a while.
Not today. I mean, we did put moon rovers in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So
we don't have to.
I'm
but-
gonna get this. I want to
Alright.
I want to put a rover somewhere. That leaves us with 400. So that means we could still pick up like I don't
One
even
more
know.
thing.
This is no 2 things because we could get like the relay station, and we could get some more science bits and
All right,
power.
I'm sold. Do it. And you want to take a
Yeah, let's take a quick break
quick break?
before we
Who
go our
looks-
next mission.
Zach looks like Scott Manley. I mean, I guess in that he's bald.
We're both bald.
So we're gonna take a quick break and get ourselves some snacks, and then we'll be right back and build some moon rovers, like it says in
In the thing.
in the thing. So don't go away. We'll be back in just like 2 or 3 minutes.
Mhm.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that.
So
We got some rover parts, huh?
we got some rover parts. So let's save this again and put this away for now. And let's look at what we got the command seat, which is cool. But
We are not putting a Kerbal on the rover.
We're not putting a Kerbal on
We're
the rover.
not
I
putting
agree.
a Kerbal
I
on the
agree.
rover.
So we have this new probe body, which is
All right.
specifically designed to be the core of a rover. Sturdy, robust probe system, battery system.
I propose that we name this one. What were our last 2 names?
The USS Unlikely and the USS probably this one or something like that.
Yeah.
This
so
one
is-
probably?
This is the USS Can't Even.
Okay. Let me fix that A. Okay. So
So let's start with some wheels.
Sure.
Wheels seem like
we have 2 options for wheels. We got these wheels, which are like little dinky ones, and we got these much bigger wheels.
I think you want the bigger ones.
I think we want the bigger ones. These are.
That doesn't seem like how you want to have wheels.
Let's try this. That seems better.
Ish.
well, we put the other two.
All right.
We can test this. Make sure-
Let's go test this on the launch pad.
Sure. I believe this should drive just perfectly fine.
We shouldn't need anything else. It'll run out of batteries pretty quick.
Very
but
quickly.
Let's
We
drive it.
can do a sweet jump off the side.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes that way. But yeah, we'll do a sweet jump off the side.
Oh, this thing.
Turns. It's got quite.
This thing has got some gas.
It's got quite a bit of gas. We're burning through our electric charge. It doesn't care if it goes forwards or backwards. That is something I actually want to put on this thing. Some way of telling which way the front is.
Oh yeah, no, we'll have a direction.
So that worked very well.
All right.
So then we need to put like science bits on it. Which, you know, I did not.
You
mean
reverted
to.
it to the launch pad.
I
not
meant
to
to
the assembly.
work to the assembly.
Okay, so how much science do we? We don't need that antenna.
Actually, we don't need that antenna.
We should just use the normal high gain antenna that we've been using. Or
If we have a relay station around the planet with the Brunswick thing we're landing on, that should be fine.
okay. Lights up front and red
Right.
lights in back.
I like that.
Seems like a smart idea.
We have a whole bunch of new science bits too.
We're gonna have to put every single one of them on here. You know that, right?
Yeah, which is kind of a problem because
No,
we got
don't worry about it. We got struts.
we got struts.
Don't start with the struts.
Can the struts connect anywhere, or do they have to be? They can't. Okay, good. Lights. Where are lights?
Lights would be under light.
Do we have?
Or
there's-
utility, sorry.
I thought we had them. I know I moused over them at one. There we are. Okay. This is not how I want this light to be.
They're not going to do any of the symmetrical things that you would like them to. Can you right-click on that and
What? Well,
custom?
change the color? Yeah.
Customize them?
Let me... See?
Oh, got RGB sliders. That's not ideal.
I would not what you're hoping
I would
for?
suggest putting one light in the front and one in the back, because
Sure.
unless we want to make this much bigger, you are going to have very limited power. And you got it.
I want to
gotta
tilt
be
it down.
Tilted down, not up.
There we go.
Okay. I do think you want
We
one
need
in the
the
back.
we need the brake light.
You need a brake light. Yeah.
We can also put we have the bigger light.
Yeah, put the bigger one facing just straight down, like that.
And make it red.
You make it like 0.1 of G and B and 100% R. That doesn't change the appearance of it at all, but
If I put, see there you can
okay,
see.
it does actually cast a red light.
Yes.
Oh, Tifius has a good suggestion. Put the rover on the ground if you want to see a preview of the light cone. Yeah, that's what you want it to look like.
Okay.
Okay, so now,
We're gonna need to put this thing at the top of a rocket anyway. So.
yeah.
Okay. Now we need a whole bunch of other shit on here.
I would suggest putting some struts so you can attach stuff to all sides of the struts.
I want to see how big our. Okay, so this thing is small, which is nice. That's a new big thing we've never
Okay.
had before. This is also small.
We need to have solar panels on this still.
We do, but we have the thing we have now are these, or possibly these, which
I'm telling you, you want to put some. You don't want to just cover this thing in stuff that's not going to work well.
yeah, it's not gonna work well. But so should we have the big fully out kind? They're like the long. That's the same. Aha. Do we want the long ones or the square ones?
I think probably some of each.
Some of each. And how would you know them?
Get some fucking struts.
Get some fucking struts. Okay, sure. Where the struts?
They're instructional.
Girder, probably. Or is there's the small girder too. That's a little small.
So one thing we could do is we could lengthen this thing.
Yes. We could also
Or-
put the wheels up further.
No, putting the wheels on struts is a bad idea. You would lengthen it,
Right.
or you make it taller. Which do you want to do?
I think lengthening is the safer of the options.
Okay, can you mount that strut the other direction?
What do you mean?
So it's long ways on the short
Ah.
side?
Can we do that? Let's try.
Make sure that's exactly 90 degrees. I think, yeah, it is. Okay.
We can do this.
Okay, so now raise that up. Excuse me. I'm going to take this.
Okay.
Right back.
So I will try to fix this light now. There we go. Put this on here. I don't know why it's rotated sideways, but it is. You know, I don't think these are what we want. I think we want. Whoops. You know how it leaves the extra bit. Okay. I mean, I guess this will rotate by itself. But I think one at the front and one at the back is probably fine. I should also put the same girder on the back. We get that girder again. Here and then rotate it. Pull off this light and this piece. That 90 degrees? I think it is. Okay. We have a girder. Can we stuff stuff in the girder? That's an interesting question. Wonder if we can stuff stuff in the girder.
Oh, yeah. You can stuff in a girder. Sorry about that. It was my car.
Ah. Good news on your car?
No, not good news. They don't call you for good news on your car.
Sometimes they call you when they're done. I've had that happen.
Yeah, well, if they were done, I would be leaving, or I wouldn't have even come in the first place, probably. No, it's just going to be more expensive than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
My back brakes are shot, and they want to replace all the coolant and fluids and everything.
Of course. Gotta replace all the fluids. So is this kind of what you're imagining? Or more...
Sort of. I don't know that I would... So one thing,
Mm-hmm.
I would put the wheel, attach the wheels on at least one of those sides onto the strut.
That's not exactly the symmetry I was hoping for. If I'm being honest here.
You can make this easy because it's got a square part, so disable symmetry. Yes, put 16 of those wheels.
Okay.
Now, if you rotate the camera such that you can see the bottom corner of that,
So you put it in the bottom corner.
yeah, you want to just line up the square part of that to the bottom corner, and then do the same thing on the other side. No, the other side.
Don't we want it on all the sides?
I was going to suggest that you
just
only
like-
do that to one of the wheels, and then
Okay.
you leave the other one the way it was.
Sure.
Probably
I
it
still
should
have
have
to
been the
align
front,
this-
not the back wheel, so do it to both, sure.
The other thing is like the on the symmetry on here, if you remember, puts that wheel on.
No, I know.
Okay, so this is there we go.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, if
It'd be
it was
nice
a little
if
bit
it
off,
was-
it would be fine.
Do we have slightly less clearance now, which hopefully
Less
isn't
clearance where?
of the ground, I think.
No, you have more clearance.
Do we have more clearance?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
You would put those on the top before. So they're now mounted lower.
think those are pretty close.
Yeah, that's close enough. I mean, you can always take it out for another drive.
We're gonna do that at the last
Towards
step.
the end.
Yes.
Now, I would put one more strut in the middle, so you can put certain things
Higher?
on top of that and certain things closer to the ground.
We could also put no. Yeah.
You're
let's
not
just
putting
put
a whole Science Junior on here. No.
No, not a Science Junior. I was gonna suggest a service bay, but it's probably too much.
No.
You know, putting the solar panels on the side. Putting the solar panels on the side of this vertical strut might
I think
work
that
well.
might be a good idea. Those will rotate to track the sun, right?
I believe they rotate to track the sun. That's another thing we're going to test.
Okay.
And
So now, just cram every available surface with science.
also, I'm going to put.
Put
I don't
that
know
on
if
the
it
top
blocks.
center.
I don't know if it blocks things or not, but if something, but it's where it should be.
Yeah.
I wish.
Floating in the center.
I wish it would actually.
Put it on a corner.
Oh, yeah, that is empty, isn't it? Everything pops off when you touch it. I hate it. Why is this not?
Why isn't
There
that
you go.
snapping anymore? I don't know.
Put it on the corner. Okay. So we need to Gorsat, whatever the hell this is.
Is that something you can? I guess by default, everything you can use on the ground. Why not? We should see how it deploys. Good point.
That's how it deploys.
Okay. I'm gonna say those want to be pointing directly at the ground.
Sure.
So hang that off the side and point it at the ground.
This is sort of how rovers in NASA work,
Exactly.
right? Like they have all the science bits.
Oh, and you also have a drill, so that needs to go on the other side. Okay, there's that as well, but there's also a core drill. I'm
I thought
pretty
we
sure.
got the. There it is. There's the core drill. Yeah. So this thing needs to go on definitely on the opposite. And you know, we're actually gonna get a whole bunch of science from our test flight here.
Oh yeah, just doing core samples of the launch pad.
Mm-hmm. I've completely lost the camera angles.
So you'll probably want to put that spectral imager next to the drill.
I just want to make sure the drill is in the right position.
Doesn't matter that it's super.
You sure? You sure about that?
I mean, it doesn't matter that it's super centered. It does matter that it drills into the ground, not into space.
It might
I mean,
actually
taking a core
work.
sample of space would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool. We might do that.
We could be the first ones to have ever taken a core sample of space.
Does this thing extend? I believe it does too. Yes. That's cool.
Okay, so the way that wants to be mounted is on here,
Mm-hmm.
but at an angle pointing out.
You mean like pointing
The
forward?
lasers are pointing down, but the whole thing is pointing away from the ship just a little bit.
Like that?
Less than that.
Less than that?
10 degrees. Yeah.
Okay. These are our new science bits. Let's put some classic science bits on there because.
So we need...
Oh wait, we also get this one. I'm not sure what this does.
That made it longer. Put it there. Keep it there. I like that better.
Huh? It doesn't.
It doesn't do anything? Cool. Automatically identify nearby...
Anomalies.
quantum.
Okay,
All right.
that's cool. We're gonna try to land next to
Oh.
anomalies.
Batteries.
Batteries, definitely batteries.
Before you put any more science, batteries. Everywhere batteries. All the batteries. Can you put those on the inside of that?
I will try. Let me just.
Symmetry it up a little bit.
I might put 4.
Alright, doesn't that seem like it should be full of batteries, not have batteries mounted to the outside of it?
I think it does seem like it should be full of batteries.
I mean, really, the actual probe body should be full of batteries.
It is actually full. It's not. It's a bad battery, but it's
Yeah.
got a battery in it.
It's got a really lame battery.
I want to move this one.
Nah, it's
They're
fine.
not lined up properly. That's better.
Alright.
Okay, that should be enough battery for now.
Yeah, that's probably good battery. So, do we have a temperature sensor, a pressure sensor?
Yeah, those are the next science
Um,
things.
Do we have a goo? You put 2. You don't need to.
We don't need 2 of these. We might want 2 goos, but we don't need 2 of these. Put it. I think we want a forward and a backwards goo.
Forward and an aft goo.
Yeah, because when you use your goo, it runs
True.
out.
Goo is single-time use. What else could we put?
I think we're about good here.
We should put a camera on it.
Does it want a flight computer?
This doesn't need a flight computer, but the probe that lands it.
It does.
probably does.
Yes, it does. That's big.
Not that one.
That's also new.
That one.
This, the orbital telescope.
Is that an orbital telescope?
It's an orbital
then
telescope.
Maybe we don't need that. I thought there was a camera.
I thought we do have a camera.
Oh,
just
camera. All right, fine.
I don't know how to use it, but it's got a camera now.
It's a probe. It's got to have a camera.
Okay, so let's see if this drives.
Yeah, drive it around the launch pad.
I'm gonna try not to just jump off the
I
side.
say 60% chance it's backwards. That the side that you
60.
made forwards is not the side that goes forwards.
The side that's going forwards.
Oh, you just need to reprogram the wheels then. I would do that in staging,
yeah.
in assembly, not in here.
Okay. I mean, I guess we could make it. So this is enabled direction.
You want to keep steering direction normal for both of them,
Mm-hmm.
but the motor direction is going to be reversed for one half of it. I don't know. See what it is now.
Let's do that.
Okay, motor direction. Yeah, motor direction normal everywhere. That should be what you want.
It's normal. It was normal everywhere, though.
Oh, then okay. Yeah, no. This is what you want. This is what you want. You got it.
I hope it could be worse. I would believe it's worse.
I don't know if it's set up as tank steering or if it's set up as push steering or what. So.
Okay. Now backwards is forwards.
Okay, so now you just need to reverse all the motors. Is steering normal or is steering backwards? You probably don't want...
Steering is normal.
Do you want every wheel to steer?
Probably not.
You might. I don't know.
Should we... Probably should come to...
Not while moving!
Well, maybe it should be mounted higher.
No, that drills into the ground. You don't do it while you're moving.
Ah, brakes. That's a...
Don't do a core sample while you're moving. You maniac. See? Laser surface
you got it exactly where
Yeah.
it should be. It's called a bio drill. You sure it shouldn't be mounted slightly higher than that?
Yep.
Okay, that's how it's supposed to be.
That'll also help you flip yourself if you need to.
This thing is... Okay, so that
Only
is...
usable from high orbit.
We don't
All right,
need,
maybe
we don't
bring
need that one. We're not bringing that one with us. Okay. So now I want to...
You want to reverse every single motor.
What if I just put the other thing on the front?
No, reverse every single motor.
Okay.
It's plenty easy to do.
It is plenty easy to do.
That sounds way easier
Then putting the thing on the front?
Yeah, flipping the entire vehicle
Okay,
around.
so this is
Reverse.
normal, reverse, and then
I think you want steering everywhere.
steering everywhere?
That'll make you more maneuverable.
Probably, yeah.
Take the high orbit fucker off.
Goodbye, Gorsat.
There's got to be something else we can put on this. We don't have nearly enough science. No, we don't have enough science.
We can put this thing on there. If we're landing on, like, I don't know, Midwest or something, it does work. It seems like it shouldn't be for the surface, but it's for the surface. Also.
That looks fine on the surface.
Like, a scanner isn't going to do anything. We have one of those. We don't want a satellite bit. Actually, this might work on the surface. Let's see. Does this work on the surface? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Let's do another test flight.
I wonder if I'm actually gonna put the orbital telescope on for the test flight, just to
Have it scan the
have us
probe itself.
Have it tell us it's only
Alright.
viable for orbit.
No, but you've got it pointed.
I know. I have put it completely the wrong way. It would take time to rotate it around. I don't think it's even going to work. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
oh yeah, this does work on the surface.
All right. See, it's a good thing we put more science on.
We've already done that one. And where's the orbital telescope? Telescope only suitable during atmospheric flight.
Or on the surface.
Oh wait, I didn't open it. That's the problem. Helps if you open the damn thing.
Telescope is not useful
In orbit, atmospheric flight, or
in orbit. Okay.
Or in orbit. Yeah.
I just read the in orbit part as it was fading away, and I was like, "That's not what you said. That's not what you said at all." So now we have two more challenges. The first challenge is to build a lander around this thing.
Yep.
Then we
Get it
build a
some
rocket
around.
underneath that.
Okay. Well, for starters, I'm curious about one thing, and that's if our big fairing is.
That is
okay.
not our biggest fairing. That is not our biggest fairing. That is not our biggest fairing. The other fairing.
This one?
Not that one.
This one.
This one?
That's a service bay.
Oh. All right, so we need to go do some more science to unlock a 2.5 meter fairing, apparently.
Or we could just put it on the top of a rocket. It's sure to work.
Yeah, you could do that. You'd have to build a real big rocket. Do those wheels retract at all? Nope. Cool.
Yep. So, the other thing is that if it's at the top of our lander, we need to put engines on the top of it so we can drop the lander and then lower it down or move it.
No, I'm aware of that.
Is that the crane you talked about before? Is that how that worked? Or is that a physical, like...
No, the crane was actually a crane.
It was actually a crane? Okay. Because here we're
this is what it looks like.
we may have to move. Okay. That's kind of what I'm describing, but slightly different.
That doesn't sound anything like what you're describing. This sounds more like what you're describing.
I'll show you what I'm describing because I'm.
Go for it.
Okay, we want the coupler up here, not that one. And then, is that the only radial engine we have?
Mm-hmm.
That is not going
Knowledge
to work.
motor is not powerful enough. Those are pretty big, though.
They're kind of way too big, but like those are not going to land. These are not lander engines.
Why wouldn't that land? Because it's got a thrust weight ratio of 29.
Yeah, well,
How
that's the
about on the
moon.
Oh, that is on the moon. That'll land. That'll be fine.
Is it
You
fine?
want it powerful.
Okay.
You'll need more fuel.
We need way more fuel. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how much more fuel you would need.
Didn't change anything.
Did it change both of them?
It's not updating.
Yeah, but did it change the other one?
Nope. That's why. I should probably put these on
Symmetrically?
anyway. That might be better.
I wonder
Should they
if
be
it's
at a
tilted
slight
out like
angle?
that. I think that would actually help. It looks kind of weird,
It's
but
kind of jank. But, like, okay. So that's even a lot. And we need more fuel than we do have.
that might work. You might be able to have this upside down on top of a rocket and then just chuck it.
Well, like, you
and
can also have a lander underneath this that you drop.
No,
But
that's your lander.
That's my This is.
If this is what you want to
Oh,
do,
so you're saying flip this upside down?
put this upside down on top of a rocket.
Yeah, that could work.
I would put some RCS on this.
RCS on this and
Is it-
possibly more fuel. Possibly.
Not a whole lot more fuel. A
Like
little bit more fuel.
One more of these tanks, maybe?
No, the different tank that has RCS in it as well.
I think we only have the massive tanks with RCS.
Oh,
but I will check.
Do we?
That's okay. That's.
Oh, the other thing we need to test is can it still drive around like this?
When it's the idea is that you decouple this and
No.
send that away.
No.
Okay,
No,
not even a little bit.
Are you nuts? It's gonna blow up right on you.
Well, let's see if it doesn't blow up right now. Actually, because it might just explode
Just from sitting there, you think?
from like
Jostling around?
or the engines being on the rover.
Why would having the engines on the rover make it explode? This can't lift off on Earth.
It's gonna make driving weird though. That's for sure.
Why are you trying to drive at the same time as
I'm not.
I don't understand what you.
I wasn't thinking. Okay, so yeah, it drives fine actually.
Now you're just driving it backwards on purpose. That is a risk, though.
Yes, that is a risk. I didn't realize there's like a little thing here, but yeah, this thing.
All right,
it does drive forwards.
Let's
okay.
do it.
Okay, we need to put this at the top of a rocket now.
Upside down and at the top of it.
Right. Okay, so
You might, if you want to do RCS, I would suggest doing RCS before you do this.
before I flip it upside down,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably smart.
I would also save it before you flip it upside down.
That's a good idea. This is great.
Three is not going to work on an engine with two engines. So what I would suggest doing is putting them on the probe itself.
Like down, there.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that should work. Okay.
That's fine.
And where
then
are we
a
sticking our
spherical
mono?
RCS tank, monopropellant tank? That can just go near the goo.
Sure.
Go on the rover. If the rover has enough power to move all of this shit with the fuel on Kerbin,
yeah,
it could do anything on the moon. Yeah, that totally fits.
Okay.
They're combined goo and RCS fuel tanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new thing we're researching.
Oops, right. I have to grab it by the body, and then we want alt, and then.
Yep. How do what?
No, that's an easy step. I was like, wait, how do we flip it over when we're on the moon? It's like, no, but that's easy. That's easy.
You're in space.
You're in space.
Don't even worry about it. So now decoupler.
Yep. Decoupler. Does this thing have SAS motor? Do we want to put?
I'm suggesting that now you put a probe.
Now we put a probe. Okay.
You put a probe. You put a trunk. You put your
the newfangled
flight computers in there.
So actually, we got to do. What is the difference between these two probes?
One is an octagon, and the other is a hexagon.
That's the only difference?
There may be other differences, but I believe that's the main difference.
That seems like the main difference.
Yeah.
One bigger? Nope. I like having more sides. It's better.
Yeah, more sides is better.
Okay. So now we put a trunk. And we might put our new science in the trunk. Perhaps.
This is going to be such an unstable piece of shit.
No, it's the best plan.
All right.
It's an awesome thing that will definitely fly well. Only need one Gorsat.
Oh, you're even going to put the new science on it. I was suggesting you put like a flight computer in there.
I'm also going to put a flight computer. Why not bring the Gorsat with us?
All right.
We have a thing. Like, I'm not saying we're going to put this on it too. Although we
Please
could.
don't. That's not a new thing, is it?
That's a new thing. You were thinking of this thing.
Oh, yeah, they look
They look very
quite
similar.
similar.
I'm sure this is gonna look very different if you pop it open, though. Like, see, it's like a big camera.
We don't have the.
We're not
field
bringing
budget
that.
for that.
We're not bringing that. Did we put an orbital telescope around?
We put an orbital telescope on the damn probe, and you haven't taken it off yet.
I did.
Oh, you
It's
did.
gone.
Okay,
It's gone.
Never mind.
Okay, now we need some fuel tanks and stuff underneath all this.
Well, so this is your. You should do a third stage, a small third stage. You should have more RCS tanks with it. You don't want anything else that sticks off the side.
Yeah, we don't.
You really don't want
We
anything
really
else
don't.
that sticks off the
I
side.
really want to put one of those up, but we really don't want it. Okay.
Not on this. Not everything has to fly on the same rocket, especially not if you don't have the like 3.5 meter ones.
Yes. Okay, so you're saying another like you think I should disconnect this, like put a couple?
No,
here?
not a decoupler, but I'm saying that you want the probe to have its own stage that will be used for circularizing
Right.
and orbital insertion, orbital deinsertion when you get to the moon. Because you need a main stage for liftoff and your main orbital insertion on Kerbin.
Yes.
Then you need a second stage for orbital circularization and transit. And then you want a third stage for landing preparation. And then you have the fourth stage of actual landing. That's probably enough for this.
I think
I would put a monopropellant tank as well.
Sure.
Just because otherwise all your monopropellant is only on the rover itself.
Well, I might put more on the next, like the lower. But
All
yeah.
right, fine. Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
you raise a good point that like that piece alone, you don't really need the monopropellant. But this thing carrying this rover upside down probably needs
Probably
some
wants monopropellant.
probably wants some monopropellant. This might be the greatest rocket that's ever been designed by Kerbals or men. Okay, that's
All right.
that's good.
Fill it with RCS. Now I think you want to go 2.5 meters straight away.
Like the last one? Yeah, I would agree with that. That already worked well for the last one.
And these are just your kicker stages. So these aren't really even stages.
These are baby stages for babies.
They're just kicker stages.
Okay, what am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for.
Looking for the cone adapter.
Yeah. Structural. Cone adapter. Bam. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was like, do I need to put one of these lower? But no, I do not.
Not on both sides.
Let's put a monopropellant and a regular. And I like that engine I used last time. It was this engine. It's like pretty good in a vacuum.
They just go all the way up to the roof. You're gonna need it.
I'm gonna need it. I always grab the wrong size first. I always
I
grab
don't know
the wrong
how you
size.
managed to always grab the wrong size. Like, you would think if you were just doing it randomly and you'd never memorize them, that you would get it right more often than this.
Okay. Something like that. I'm just basing this on the previous rocket design, which worked well. It's probably heavier than that one was,
It's
though.
gonna be considerably heavier than our last lander.
Actually, without the... I wonder.
You think it actually might be lighter? Well, what it's not gonna be is more aerodynamic.
It's definitely not going to be more aerodynamic.
That's the real reason I want this first stage to be so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
is because you need to fight against the forces that want to crash that lander
Into
into the launch center.
We're going to start with this and then look and see how it looks. That's got a lot of thrust to weight ratio.
On Duna.
On Duna.
Itzogitch says, you guys look like peeps who know what they're doing. Do you mind if I ask some questions? I need some troubleshooting and can't seem to find it online. Like Scott Manley videos.
Oh, we don't know everything, but
We would be happy to help.
Yes,
We're
exactly.
not experts, but go ahead.
As you
There
can see,
are some experts in our chat, perhaps. We've been getting
Perhaps.
some good tips.
But as you can see, we've mounted a rover upside down on top of the rocket, so maybe we're not like
That's where the direction rovers go. Don't worry about it. In space, there's no down.
It's true. There's no down in space.
We're just gonna spin around.
Mm-hmm.
It's spin gravity, and gravity's always down.
So last time we had these on it too, to like really kick us up.
Yep.
I wish we had like a reasonable.
What about the ones with the curved top?
Oh, we got these. Right, I forgot about these. These are like the real.
Those are like excessively powerful.
But isn't that kind of what we want here? Isn't that...
Yep. You're gonna want to put those on decouplers.
Yeah, and possibly mount them better than they're currently mounted. Get the big decouplers, I think.
And then you're gonna want like a shitload of wings in this thing. Like maybe literally wings.
Like maybe literally wings. Okay. How should I mount these?
That's fine.
That's better. No, that's not better.
I think it was better the other way.
It was better the other way.
Definitely not like that.
That's the way to do it.
Definitely not like
I kind of want to launch one like that and just see what would happen.
Spin a lot. That looks, yeah.
That looks fine.
I'll buy that for $1.
Okay, so now, how long do these burn?
A while.
Do we actually need the decouplers?
You want the decouplers.
Okay. Well, we don't want to fire them first, I'm pretty sure.
You don't?
The decouplers?
No, the decouplers certainly you don't want to fire them.
Okay, these only burn for a minute.
That's a hell of a long time for a solid rocket booster.
I believe these are actually liquid. Nope, these are solid. Okay. And that's correct. This is good. This stage needs RCS.
So you're trying to build a space station, and therefore you need to dock. So, but for some reason you can't control any of the rockets you shoot up there.
Where is your space
struggle? When I watch other people do it, they do it really easy with orientation, side movement, and other types of movement. I mean, you have RCS thrusters on your vehicles, right? Because if you don't have RCS thrusters on your vehicles, you're going to have a real hard time.
It's a lot harder without RCS thrusters.
RCS thrusters are, you want to...
Yeah, these are, so we got these. I just put them on this thing.
Little thruster groups.
We're not doing docking right now, but...
So you have RCS, and this is a space station that's in, like, low Kerbin orbit?
Because there's this possibility that you're going outside of your radar range, and that would hurt your controls. If you say you can't control it completely, or if you're...
I think they're just having trouble controlling
it.
Yeah, about 120 kilometers Kerbin orbit.
Okay, that should be fine then. So you know that you can, with your RCS, directionally thrust. You either with caps lock that removes your regular thrust and puts only the RCS controls on the basic controls, or you can use the J, K, L, I, and H to move in different directions. So that's how we've done the docking. Is I've used the J, K, L, I, and H.
Well, so what is your problem with the getting the approach? Are you having trouble getting anywhere close to the space station, or are you having trouble getting that last couple of meters and actually getting yourself docked?
That's a good question too. Is there anything else this rocket needs before we launch the thing?
A big
wings, right?
Yes. Like I'm hesitant to say literally put wings on it, but it needs some. Don't put the fins on there.
Put the fins on here.
Yeah, it needs some serious fins. You're like 20 meters, and the last part is really getting you.
Oh, and you're trying to dock, right? Yeah,
they're trying to dock.
They're trying to dock. Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I guess we haven't really done too much docking.
Actually docked anything yet. We've gotten within 20 meters and then crawled out of our spaceship and crawled into the other spaceship.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because I haven't played in ages. I've just mostly been watching Zach play.
There is a mod, and I'm not sure what it's called, but it just adds a visual alignment
like
system.
Camera,
basically like a camera thing with a target.
That sounds super useful.
So you could look into that.
The other thing that's helpful is to switch your camera modes and to switch your control modes into docking mode, because that gives you much more direct access to the relative controls. And then other than that, like if you're watching Scott Manley videos, Scott Manley makes things look easy.
He's really good
really
at
good
this
at this game. So
deceptively so. Like, the game's a lot harder than.
Malthus says, "LOL, launch it on the roller coaster."
Oh right, the roller coaster. I think we're
What roller coaster? I don't.
last two.
Oh, when we had it on one launch.
No,
pad?
no, no, no. Me and Malcolm played Roller Coaster Tycoon, and we
played
built
Planet Coaster.
Sorry, we played Planet Coaster, and we built a roller coaster that just launched people up.
Oh, all right.
For a minute, we were messing around.
If you put a rocket on something like that, it's called a launch loop.
Cool. That is a viable, actual plan to get to space, right?
Once again, I'm going to plug Isaac Arthur's channel because Isaac Arthur's channel is amazing, and if you like watching this, you would probably like watching that.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, this thing I'm so scared.
You should be scared. That whole rover is going to burn up and shear off.
It definitely is.
Oh, that makes a nice noise. I like this rocket.
There's. I'm concerned. That should be blue. It's not.
Yeah. What's going on with your?
Oh, I know why.
The top of your thing
we're
is
upside down. We're upside down, and also the thing doesn't fly at all. Like in no way does this fly in any.
Just get out of the atmosphere.
Well, that's gonna be okay. We're gonna
put bigger wings on it.
I think I might put bigger wings.
Put like serious delta wings on this thing. Like
they might need flaps too. These don't have flaps.
Oh yeah, you gotta have flaps.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of wonder what it would be like if you just
build a wing.
Put real wings on this, like not something like that, but something like
these.
They're swept wings, but put them. Maybe you don't want swept wings. I don't know.
What's the rocket with the biggest actual wings that you're aware of?
Rocket with the biggest wings. That sounds like a question for Google. Or that sounds like a question for the podcast, honestly.
It does, yeah. Okay.
It would have to be the space shuttle.
Yeah, it would have to be the space. It would have to be the space shuttle. You're right.
So the results for a rocket with biggest wings are cars with large spoilers.
Okay.
Just gonna put them like that and don't even worry about it.
I was considering. I was honestly considering it.
Give it a shot. What could happen?
Okay, we got smarter people.
Oh, Tiffy, that sounds like good tips for docking.
What does Tiffy say actually?
The way I do it is to 1, align orientation, rotate both parts so the docking ports face along the same axis if possible, like along the normal or the anti-normal, and then use only KIJLHN drift closer. Maybe even bigger wings. You might still have control over this. I think you have control over it.
I'm holding down a key.
Yeah, it's not. It has stopped crashing into the ground. I don't know if it's going how we want it to.
It's doing a gravity turn. We're doing a gravity turn. It's fine. Now it's bad.
Places.
Now it's bad. Now it's all bad. Do we have too much thrust? Like we're.
I mean,
going too quick. Huh?
Did you have your liquid fuel all the way off? Try having your liquid fuel. Don't even.
That's a good idea. I'll add an
extra stage.
Yeah. Change your staging around. Put these there.
I mean, you could just throttle down to 0 and.
I could, but I'm just gonna add the second stage. More wing. More wing.
Try throttling down those 3 engines to like 90%.
These?
Yeah.
Sure.
Actually 90.
Yes. I realized, 80 was lower than 90. Took me a second though. Because really what we want are like a lot of flap, right?
You want all the control surface.
Yeah.
Maybe just okay, I buy that. Do it on all of them.
If it works.
I buy it.
There you go.
And you have the mass budget on this rocket, so put some more wings in directly
like
in line
these?
with those. I would just do the flaps,
Oh, just these flaps. Okay.
but directly in line with those wings and on the next stage up, or at least above the solid boosters.
Snapping. Uh-oh.
You may need to snap everything. Kayla8897, thank you for following.
Okay, these are in line.
Yeah, but put them high.
Raise them up. Like all the way up, or
Sure.
let's put. You know, we're gonna take some space with us because that's the kind of people we are.
That's what I'm saying. You have on this rocket, you have the mass budget to take wings into space.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do stupid space shuttle things if you want to. It's got to work.
It's gotta work.
It's got to work.
It's gotta work.
We made it. It has to work.
Shit. I'm kind of tempted to like redesign the whole thing so I could flip the stupid bit on the top over.
Flipping that the right way around.
No,
is
no,
not
no.
gonna help.
I mean, take this box, that white box I'm selected right now.
Oh, and only
flip that
that
over.
No, but then it will be upside down when you're driving it around, and that will be worse.
That's true.
Like rockets typically go different than gravity.
I wonder if it being flipped over
Is affecting.
things.
Oh, look at its wheels go.
All right. We should do control groups. I forgot about that.
Look at its wheels go. It's trying to drive to space. It thinks it's driving to space.
Oh no, this
It's
thing.
steering and everything. Just keep going up. Once you get out of the atmosphere, like having a fucking vehicle on the front of your rocket is not going to be nearly as big of an issue. And this thing has the fuel to go serpentine into space if it wants to. And boy, does it want to.
Boy, does it want. The problem is like, and then suddenly we're going sideways, and I can do nothing about it. You know what?
Wings, so Bearsuit Lane says wings on the top of a rocket are okay until you're trying to pass the speed of sound.
Now it's bad.
Oh,
now
it's
bad. Okay, that's not going to work at all.
Wings on a rocket are okay until you don't have a symmetrical
Half
number
of
of them. No, that was just one that blew off.
Okay. So that means we need to.
I'll give you that maybe this whole thing needs to be slightly rethought.
Well, here's the thing I realized. You know what you can't gimbal? You know what help is gimbaling, and you know what you can't gimbal?
Solid rocket motors?
Solid rocket motors.
Okay, new plan. Do we have a 2.5 meter bicoupler? Does such a thing exist?
Well, let's see. A 2.5 meter.
Or tricoupler?
We have the. Yeah, I think we actually have the tricoupler.
Is that 2.5 meter? No.
Right. You want the massive tricoupler.
Mm-hmm. I want to take this engine off and put 3 smaller engines on, and then you can gimbal all of those.
Well, we can also mount engines like that on the thing.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, those liquid boosters that we have on the top might be good on the bottom too.
Oh, these things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put like 8 of those around.
Around the bottom?
Yeah.
Don't we need more fuel tanks then?
Well,
I guess we could like replace this with.
That's something we can discuss once we do it.
Okay.
Let's see how that would even look.
So you just said put too many, so I'm just gonna put too many over here.
Not enough.
Not enough? That's as many as we can put.
I'm aware of that, but I don't. Well, actually, it's probably enough. Take all the stupid wings and everything off, and just try flying it like that.
I'm gonna leave a pair of wings.
Yeah, sure. Leave an octet of wings.
Yeah. Oops.
Take the whole rocket off the rocket.
Take the whole rocket off the rocket. Okay, so that isn't. These aren't really connected so much.
Now there's only 4 of them.
I also didn't want to do that.
And technically, you can put twice as many as that on.
Technically, I can.
I don't think you want to do that. Certainly not like that.
That's not much better.
Yeah, take that off.
Okay, so just launch this thing.
And take your
Oh,
decoupler
yep,
off.
I don't want that for sure.
This will be more controllable.
It will be more controlled.
I don't know if it'll have enough DV to get to where we're going, but Bearsuit Lane likes it.
No problem here. Good. Great. Excellent. How do you have any of you guys built rovers and sent them places?
Ooh, that is nice and stable.
Woo. Also, like, okay. This is fun. This is nice.
It's spin stabilized. Don't worry about it.
It's I mean, except for the part where it's not. You know, how do you send your rovers places? How do you do it? I want to look at one thing here. Okay, that's actually not the worst place for that. I was worried it was way higher than that. Huh. So, the solid boosters were better. A lot better.
New plan. Put a ton of small solid boosters. I don't know. You don't make the rover the root node, the part that's controlling the rocket. Oh yeah, it is.
Right, we can do that. We can do that.
Oh, can we just switch root nodes?
I think we can. I think there should be a way to do that. If anyone remembers how to do that.
I was thinking about trying to do that. It's isn't it that button?
I think I did it. I have to put it on Launchpad to see.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Okay.
Cool.
That does mean...
Oh yeah, we should have saved the rover as a sub-assembly. We forgot to do that.
That was smart. That would be smart, yes.
See, I knew half of these things.
Yes.
I didn't remember the other half, and I never communicated this with you.
Nope.
So you didn't know to do it.
Yeah. I know, I completely... I don't know why I completely blanked on the whole, you know, you can just... We have the... I forgot we had the extra probe body. We can put
Okay, so if you're worried about things looking symmetrical on this rocket, use 4 symmetry, not 3 symmetry, because it's bilaterally symmetric.
So we'll just put way too much booster. That's probably
Well,
fine.
you could put a smaller booster than the one than the Thor. Because we determined the Thor was a little too powerful, maybe? Or do you just want to...
The problem is, like...
The problem is there's things between that one and the Thor. You want to look at the... Not just the scale, you have to look at the actual numbers.
This one is...
That one lasts longer, but doesn't have as much thrust.
And this one's just insane.
That one has a lot of thrust, but doesn't last very long.
This one doesn't last as long and has...
That one's just terrible.
That one's just terrible.
That one's less thrust again.
This one's...
That one's still less thrust.
This one's also still less thrust, and that's better than the last one, but yeah, so...
I mean, if maybe something like the globe... You could put...
Which globe? This globe?
This one.
This one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're going to last long enough to do much, but we'll try.
No, those are only going to last 30 seconds. But you also don't want to be going faster than the speed of sound.
No, we don't. They will help us get off the ground.
The other thing you could do is have multiples of those. Like, if
Right,
you're worried that 30 seconds isn't enough, you put 8 of them on, fire the first 4, then the second 4. Those also may not be powerful enough, so... I mean, you can just do it like that if you wanted to.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Okay, let me now make sure we don't fire them all at the same time. Which would be fun for the, you know, the special
I mean,
effects.
I think these may be a little bit underpowered, but...
I think they're a little bit underpowered, but hey, we've reset so many times. If this thing, like, can get out of the lower atmosphere without doing a few barrel rolls, I'll be happy. Okay. So that's all correct.
Yeah,
we know that.
You want to get faster than the speed of sound, but not faster than the speed of sound in the low atmosphere with a unfairinged probe on the top of your rocket. Because when you do that, it turns out that the rocket likes to do ballet.
Mm-hmm. On the way up. This thing is actually, like, going up and not sideways. which is nice.
And you go through the low atmosphere at a nice leisurely pace.
Mm-hmm. I may have staged this terribly. Okay, yeah, I did. I really, really did. But not the way I thought I did.
We have fairings. We just don't have
A large enough
fairing to fit
Yeah.
the probe.
Okay,
Or
so
the
how
lander.
these are the wrong ones. These. Also, I want an interstage. I want to ditch those and then hit the next one so they don't just ignite.
Maybe.
Well, you know, if you put something directly under a fuel exhaust port, sometimes it catches
That's
fire.
fine. It's fine.
It's fine. They have the nice slope. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
I flex all
Bouncing off other rockets.
That's what you get for not checking which fairings, which thing is it. Not as good as the time at the beginning of the stream, where when I just hit the go, it just
You're never going to get a staging better than that one. Because they didn't even ignite. They just fell over. Yeah, this is shockingly stable.
it's shockingly stable, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah, usually we either go way low or way high on the TWR for pad, but
yeah.
this was right in the middle. It seems maybe the Goldilocks method is the correct way to do rocketry. Who knew?
Ha 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 ha.
Okay, so you need something in between as powerful as the...
No. The thing that happened, you did
What
not
happened?
realize what happened?
No, I didn't realize what happened.
I dropped the bottom of the rocket off of it.
Oh, okay.
You just couldn't tell because it was still thrusting.
No, I saw that you were no longer thrusting. I did not notice that you dropped the engine.
I dropped the engine. This should finally work.
So while Zach is failing hilariously, I should plug a new Schmucktoe project that I'm doing. If you go to moon.legal, that is my new podcast that I'm hosting along with Alan. We're hosting a podcast called Moon Law, and it is all about the history and future of space travel with a focus on legal issues. Because, as you may know, Alan has a law degree. So we've been tracking down lost moon rocks, and we talked about maritime salvage law and how you could use the Russian space shuttle to steal a satellite, or an American space shuttle if you happen to have access to such a thing. I don't know. What were some other good stories? You just listened to it last night, right?
Podcast. Yeah, I really like the podcast. I mean, the one that comes to mind for me is you talked about how there's a current. Was it a moon satellite that was struck by a rock, and you like?
Yes. So the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter was in 2014 hit by a micrometeor. Now, if you know anything about micrometeorites in space, that might sound like a devastating thing. A tiny piece of rock traveling at supersonic speeds, hitting a camera sounds bad.
This is a good rocket. It's the best rocket. It's a good rocket. I'm great at designing rockets.
But luckily, it didn't strike the actual lens or the imager or anything. It just struck like a heat exchanger or the arm.
I want to crash it. I needs to crash, but it's not actually crashing
won't cooperate
successfully.
with
Yes.
you?
I want it to explode because I'm angry at it. I think I know what to do.
You know what to do?
I think I know.
Okay.
I think.
Anyway, so the camera that it hit was a slow scan camera taking imaging of the moon. And the way a slow scan camera works is it works sort of like a flatbed scanner, that it just continually is exposing, but the satellite is moving, so it exposes a line every time, and then you stitch those together and you make an image. But it was hit by a rock, so it was jiggling around as it was scanning. And this astronomer that I follow on Twitter, called Alex Parker, he's actually the same guy who colorized that photo of the comet that I shared earlier in chat. He specializes in clearing up sort of these line scan imagers. He's working on the Juno probe, I think, or New Horizons, or possibly both. And he came across this picture and thought I could listen to that because it's since it's scanning the lines, it's got like jiggles in the pictures where it was hit, where it was vibrating. And if you know how long the exposure was, which of course NASA publishes all these things because it's important scientific data in a case like this. And so he ran it through some programs that he wrote and created a sound file of what it sounds like when a micrometeorite hits the left imaging boom of the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. And it's a sound. It sounds like thunk. Like
It does.
It's not that impressive a sound, but the fact that it was recovered from a photograph of a satellite being hit with a meteor, I don't know. I think it's just mind-blowing.
The other thing that you talked about a whole bunch is...
Sorry, I may have forgotten some of the details.
No, that's...
It's been a couple of weeks.
I think that was a very good rundown of that whole situation. But like the thing I actually want to ask you about stuff that you talked about in your podcast.
Oh yeah, no, anyone
talked
can
about...
ask me about the podcast. I mean, not too many people can ask me about the podcast because only you have heard it so far, but...
Everything might explode right now.
Might be going a little fast.
It's stable as hell, though. That's the only thing that matters, in my opinion.
So what did you want to ask?
So you talk a bunch about historical moon artifacts, which are obviously have great historical value. But I was curious if there's anything innate about moon rocks that have any value beyond historic value.
Commercial value?
Like commercial, like...
Well, I mean, the thing that they have is scarcity. That there's, you can't buy moon rocks. There's,
okay, actually, I'm just gonna... Our AppWaps is upstream. Circularized higher
just
up.
get in orbit, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was I can't remember if it was a Russian... Isaac Arthur, yeah. He's done a good video about moon harvesting. So in terms of just like having a rock, it's just a rock.
Okay, it's just a rock.
People are interested in moon rocks right now because of scarcity, because, you know, Apollo brought back several hundred pounds of moon rocks over 6 missions. And none of those NASA does not want you to own it. We've done, in fact, 2 different stories of people who thought that they had a moon rock that in some cases was maybe given to them personally by Neil Armstrong, and they contact NASA and they're like, I don't know, I found this, my husband knew Neil Armstrong, I want to make sure this is okay to own, that I can like sell it to a museum or something, because I've got, you know, a sick child. I don't remember all the details.
That's basically one of them, yeah.
It's happened at least twice. And then NASA's like, no, those are ours. We're going to have you arrested. So that's, there has been actually one sale of lunar material because, I can't remember if it was a Russian or a Chinese. Romance35, thank you for following. It was a Russian or Chinese lander that actually did a sample return mission. So they brought back under a gram of moon dust, and that sold to a private collector for several $100,000. I want to say about $400,000 in the early 90s. And then our story actually oh no, that's already up. Episode 3, I talked about the other case of moon dust that is going to be legally for sale. There was a lunar sample return pouch from Apollo that, through a huge series of errors, got accidentally sold by the government to some lady who bought it, discovered that it has moon dust in it, and she won a lawsuit saying that she gets to keep it because the government sold it to her legitimately, even though it was by accident. Oh, and Bearsuit Lane is pointing out in chat that, so in Isaac Arthur's video, he's talking about harvesting helium-3 from the lunar regolith, which is a thing, if you were going to mine the moon, that would be what you were mining the moon for.
Right, yeah.
And helium-3 would be used in fusion reactions.
Right, helium-3, okay, yeah.
It's good stuff, and it's
Isn't there also potentially like other precious minerals on the moon?
Oh yeah, no,
gold and iron
the
and
moon
whatever
is
you
made
want?
out of the same stuff as the Earth is, more or less.
So, would you?
For
Are there
on a ton
diamonds
by
on the
ton
moon?
basis, there might be.
Okay.
The moon was geologically active at one point. You can tell because if you just look at the moon, you know how there's a big crater on it,
Yeah.
and then there's like that whole area that doesn't have that many craters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge lava flow. Yeah, it's got
Right.
platinum and nickel, and
Okay.
it's got everything.
It's gonna have everything except like oil and coal and stuff, right? Because that's
yeah, it would not have oil and coal. It would have
But-
anything that you could find on the Earth 4 billion years ago,
Right. Okay.
minus single-celled life, probably.
I was thinking, wait, what if we just went to Minimus this time?
Yeah, I don't know if it's geologically active enough to have diamonds
Okay.
and geodes. Probably.
That's an interesting question that
I
you
don't-
have to research or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't really know enough about either the geology
I-
of Earth or the geology of the moon.
To know
to
when
know-
and how diamonds exactly happen.
Yeah, like exactly what pressures and
Mhm.
temperatures that you have to make that all work. But I know the moon has, lava flows and that kind of stuff, so I don't see any reason why it wouldn't have diamonds. Yeah, they'd be formed during the formation of the moon, but I don't see any reason off the top of my head why diamonds couldn't have been formed during the formation of the moon. Antivius is saying helium-3 may have turned out to be fairly localized and not present on all of the moon. I'm not sure about that. I think it is on all of the moon, but I know that it's definitely concentrated in some areas, I think.
We should have enough fuel to get to Minimus, right?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
That's cool.
Sorry.
We have the entire.
A descending node of 0.01 is fine.
It's fine. We have our entire second stage, third stage technically still. This part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got plenty of fuel.
Yeah.
Because the transfer orbit to Minimus isn't that much more.
It's
powerful,
not that much more powerful than the moon.
and then the landing is way easier.
Yes.
So you may not even need your third stage.
That one. It's better to have it than not have it.
This would be your third stage. Yeah. That one.
This part right here. Yeah. Also, like landing on Minimus is going to be easier because there's way less gravity.
Exactly. Your big problem on landing with Minimus is that you may bounce out of orbit.
Just go boing. That'd be hilarious.
I think it's a real possibility.
You think it's a real possibility? I don't think these wheels are actually that bouncy.
I don't know.
It would be
Your
amazing
engines are very powerful.
if that happened, though. Okay. Maybe should
I
have
mean,
just
even
ditched this
if
stage
the moon
already,
doesn't
but-
end up having helium-3 in huge quantities, I mean, even if it doesn't have it in huge quantities, it still has it in big enough quantities that it would be useful. And if it doesn't have it well distributed, there's still plenty of reasons you want to mine the moon. Like, if you want to build stuff in space,
yeah,
the
it's
moon is made out of the same, like, iron and
aluminum and
iron and carbon
Mhm.
molecules and all the same shit that rocks and minerals on Earth are made of. So
and it's a lot less expensive to get it from the moon. If
Yeah,
you're sending
well-
it to space anyway.
because, well, for two main reasons: the moon has less gravity,
Mhm.
and the moon has no atmosphere. So you can build a mass driver on the surface of the moon. And if you're just talking about like getting raw steel into orbit, raw steel can. Hey, Jason Holt 76, thank you for following.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, mining the moon isn't economical yet. It all depends on what you want to do with it. If you want to build a space station big enough to hold hundreds of people, you're going to have to build that out of material that's already in space, whether that's, hollowing out an asteroid or getting a mass driver on the moon and picking up boulders.
Is a mass driver like a big space catapult? 'Cause that's what it sounds like.
A mass driver is basically like a cannon.
Ah, okay. Okay. So yeah, more technologically advanced than a big space catapult, but similar idea.
It's not a catapult, it's a cannon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the difference. Like
That's
a
the-
mortar,
Mhm.
a rail gun. These are all.
in the
If it can get to orbit, then it's a mass driver.
okay, That's cool and a stupid thing that I'm glad somebody has a plan for.
It's not useful for taking people to orbit because if you put a person under 100 Gs, they become a very angry paste. But
Yes, but it's great for, inanimate
water,
objects.
a piece of steel,
Mhm.
Steel can handle hundreds of thousands of Gs with no problem.
Is that a viable plan for Earth in any way? Or is that basically just a very inefficient
hypothetically,
rocket?
if you wanted to completely destroy the Earth, after getting rid of the atmosphere, you could then ship all the dirt somewhere else with a mass driver.
Okay, so it's the atmosphere is a problem.
Well, yeah,
Because it slows everything
you're
down,
talking
yeah.
about shooting something out at orbital velocity. That's
Right.
6,000 kilometers a second. And when you shoot things into the
It's
atmosphere at
weird.
6,000 kilometers a second, everything goes boom.
It's one of those what if classic XKCD what if the entire atmosphere catches on fire scenarios.
No, it's more like your vacuum tube blows up
Okay.
because you can't like. Okay. You know how they say that like if you jump too high, hitting the ocean will feel like, or hitting water will feel like hitting concrete.
Yeah.
If you're going at 6,000
Air will
kilometers
feel
a
like
second,
concrete.
air feels like concrete.
Okay. Yeah, that causes bad things.
That causes towards the end of your gun, if the air
Feels-
suddenly turns into concrete,
Yeah.
your gun is not going to work very well. It's going to go boom.
Yeah, but on the moon it works fine.
On the moon, it works fine.
Yeah. That's cool.
It probably on Mars that would work fine as well.
They don't have enough atmosphere on Mars.
Mars has the same amount of atmosphere that you find in a vacuum chamber that is described merely as a vacuum and not as a hard vacuum.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
I thought it had more gas than that, but I guess not.
No, it's an atmosphere. It's plenty thick. That's enough to slow down on a parachute if you have like.
Oh, it is? Really? Okay.
If you have a really big parachute.
Yeah.
It's also because, your standard. I'm talking about like a high school.
Yeah. You're talking
Fishy Poop 1, 2, 3. That is quite a name. Thank you for following.
Hey, now we journey to Minimus.
The kind of a vacuum that you can have under like a bell jar, not like a whole food desiccator or something like that.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever watched Cody's Lab. He mentions that a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Cody-
seen a lot of his vacuum videos. I haven't heard him talk about how.
Anytime he's got the mercury meter, he'll say, and we're now down to, I forget exactly what the actual measure is, but we're now down to a near vacuum, and coincidentally, this is about as much atmosphere as you'd have on Mars. Never heard him say that? Then usually, depending on what he's doing, he'll pump it down for like 10 minutes more.
No.
What did you forget?
I forgot.
What did we forget?
The probe is badly designed.
What did we do?
These are underneath those,
Oh.
and we forgot about.
We're out of power?
We're out of power.
Right.
I forgot about that. I forgot this. Yeah. Oh, you're okay there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
That was worth it.
Yep.
Where did my hat go?
It's like behind your chair.
Cool, I didn't even fuck up the green screen. Nice.
Oh yeah, you didn't. Everything's. It's all fine.
Yeah, I meant to do that, don't worry. Put a solar panel just on the bottom of it. Just right on the bottom of the probe.
Sure. That's a good idea. Actually. I also moved these solar panels so they would actually work when it's a rover, which would also have been disappointing even if we'd remembered to put extra solar panels on the thing. Oh, we got big ones now. It's big.
Let's just put a big flat solar panel right on the bottom of it.
I'm kind of worried that'll
It'll
fuck everything up, but
it'll break if it runs into anything. Don't worry about it. Just put a oh yeah, there you go.
yeah. So.
We'll have all the options.
Should I launch again, or do I not have enough time anymore?
No,
probably launch
you
again.
should launch again.
I should launch again. I'll try to be quicker this time.
We're not gonna stop until we actually get this working.
I'll try to get the fucking gravity turn better, even though, like, this thing is
The
terrifying.
launch part, that all worked great.
It did.
It was everything past that.
It was everything past that.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
You've seen giant solar panels as air brakes on Duna? Wow. That seems... How?
Okay, next, anytime you do that, you have to let it play out.
Sorry.
Because that's hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, I put my hat on forwards, which is backwards. We need to get a key light in here.
We do. That would be good.
Maybe if we ever move. Or maybe when we inevitably move.
Yeah.
So I guess that is happening.
It's happening. Okay. Work.
So I'll just toss that link to my podcast in the chat in
Yeah,
case
you should
anyone
totally
will want
do
to check
that.
that out.
Make it easy for everyone. I did not center that solar panel valve.
Because moon.legal is a weird domain name.
It's a good domain.
Like, I don't know if we should have done that. Everyone really has mixed advice on the new TLDs, but
They sheared off. That's
see if you can land it. It can't land.
Let's see, we're gonna lose that stage, and that's gone. Nope. Okay.
That was not what you meant to have happen.
No.
Oh no! Oh, it was.
We're
Oh,
good,
it was.
We're good,
Okay.
We're
Okay.
good. We're good.
Okay.
So we're going to gently. We're gonna fire the engines.
I don't think those engines have enough thrust to land in the atmosphere.
Activate RCS. That should help.
Also, like, you really need to do a suicide burn on this thing.
Well, we need to turn it over first.
Oh, is it stable upside down?
Yeah, in atmosphere. Okay, there we go. Nope.
Well, this is also an important test. Like, we didn't mean to do this test, but
You mean? Well, it's like, yeah, it's obviously going to be heavier on the top.
yeah, we didn't think about that.
We did not think about that. It's not. This thing is not going to land in any way. I'm amazed I got to shear off the whole everything. Sheared everything.
Sheared off the entire rocket stack, and you still managed to land this thing. Yeah.
I don't know where. I don't know what happened to the rocket. It's out there somewhere, crashing.
Parts of it are still flying, I think.
I think the engines went. I don't think.
Did all of them go?
Oh no, I guess some of the boosters are who knows where now. Yeah, they went off to their own unique ways and journeys.
So have we learned that this thing is just not going to work, and this is a bad idea?
I'm kind of worried this thing is not going to work and it's kind of a bad idea.
And we should just stop now?
Perhaps. Okay, so if I pull, oh right.
What are you trying to do?
I'm
Talk this out.
trying to pull off this to see, to know that the center of gravity is way too deep, which we know it is. Because
We know it is.
But how could is there any possible way to fix that?
No. Not really.
You know what we could do?
The .law domain is only for lawyers. .legal domain is for anyone.
Thank you
Honda
for
Power
following.
77 YTB. Thank you for following.
What if we mounted our engine?
Vertigo 999826. Thank you for following. Maybe we should keep going.
Maybe we should keep going. What if we mounted our engines like this more? Trying to get them.
Will they not be scraping on the ground as you were driving?
Let's raise them up again, then. Are these, like, weirdly offset? Why are these weirdly offset? Oh, is the rotation off? So that's probably the rotation's all weird. Okay.
No, they are a little angled.
They're a little
They are
angled.
meant to be put on the edge of a probe.
Okay. Well, if we did that, that lowers, like, they're heavy.
Yeah, okay, give it a shot. I don't know. You could also put the fuel lower. That would, help too.
Oh, like, put the fuel below the,
If we're going to do that, we'd have to rebuild the whole thing. That would be a pretty much an entire redesign.
Almost, yeah. But like we have to do a whole bunch of stuff. The thing we do need to do with this design though is I need to put a fuel line. Do we not have fuel lines?
Do you need a fuel line? We have fuel lines.
Are you sure?
They are under fuel tanks.
Fuel tanks. Aha. Yeah, because this is now connected to that.
Ah.
So this
The
girder does not
girder does not
contain
have,
crossfeed. Yes. So.
crossfeed. All right.
Okay. So this
Let her rip.
we're gonna save it. I'm gonna make sure the staging's all correct again because it's gonna not be correct. And we're gonna let her rip.
Let her rip.
And I will try not to tilt the thing at all. I guess ever.
I still think maybe wings. I don't know. I don't know why.
We did lose the wings at one point.
I don't know why I'm thinking that, but like maybe wings.
I love the sound of these engines.
Yeah, no, these engines are. I like them. They're real good. So far, so good. Maybe.
Maybe. If I touch any of the controls, everything just goes, haywire. It's, What does that button do, I wonder? I'm not gonna press it. R here? For the G-forces?
Reset? Yeah, that's current and maximum.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah. Can Kerbals pull... Is there lethal Gs for turbines? Or Kerbals?
Now that sounds like a fun experiment.
Maybe we should do that. You didn't put a Kerbin on your rocket
Giant Kerbal accelerator?
Giant Kerbal accelerator. This is hitting some serious Gs. Okay. Goodbye, forever. You monster of a thing.
4.7 Gs is... That was all in the wrong place for a rocket to be hitting 4.7 Gs, but 3 to 3.5 to 5 is acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Briefly.
Briefly, yeah. Very, very briefly. I'm gonna...
I think if it wants to tilt, let it tilt.
No, I'm making it tilt.
Oh, you're
now.
making
it's
it
fine.
tilt. Oh, okay.
We're
fine.
in full control. We're
You're
out of... This stupid air's gone. Everything's fine.
I still can't get over how the rover thinks it's driving.
You love the wheel? You love the wheels?
It thinks it's driving to space.
It's driving to space. I can hold W and make him just spin. Thank you for following.
Thank you for following.
It's more efficient to use my fuel higher up, isn't it? Or not? Or does it matter?
It all depends on where you're going.
We're trying to go into orbit.
It all depends on exactly where you're going.
Okay. This will get us there. I think. It's not going...
You are still a little low, but I think you're fine if you just cruise to close to your apoapsis.
Just go 3 minutes up and then do the same thing.
Like you're losing a little bit of velocity, but not too much, and you
Have a heck of a lot of velocity. We can...
Yeah, if you want to actually circularize it, you do need to be closer to the apoapsis to go more sideways.
Over. Yeah.
I don't have exactly the right words to talk about orbital mechanics right now.
Totally understand. Yeah.
I never have exactly the right words to talk about orbital mechanics. Orbital mechanics is a weird thing.
As you previously said, you're not a doctor.
So how are we in terms of plane?
I think our plane is actually, it's a little bad, but the question is where would we actually need to meet up with them? Probably around here. So I do need to do a plane change. That's fine. Because we circularized with even more fuel than last time.
Yeah.
So.
Using even less than last time.
Using
Or
even
unit.
less. That is not what I meant to do.
What did you do?
I think I accidentally set a target. Let me just reset the.
Minimus is our target,
Yeah.
not that stupid orbit.
Not that whatever that satellite was. Okay. Oop. That means we're good.
Yeah, 0.6. That's close enough.
Okay. All right, now I have to turn this thing around a bit.
How are you doing on RCS? Can you pop open that menu?
I've not really used any, yes.
I just
Yeah.
want to see those menus just in case. Like,
I should extend the solar panel. Should I extend the solar panels right now? These? I mean, we got that one.
I think that one's fine. You're completely full on power, so I can't even tell if you're charging.
That's true. Okay.
I would refrain from extending solar panels on the lander until
We're landing.
until after you're done. You're done
Yeah,
landing.
yeah.
Not while you're landing. Once you're complete.
At worst case, we'll do a few orbits of Minimus, build up some charge.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I said put a bunch of batteries in there too. Like 1330 charge, I think, is actually more battery than we've had on everything.
It might be. It's up there.
Including that
the space
one
station.
that used, including the space station, and including the thing that used 1,000 in one shot.
Yes,
We
that
only
thing
had
definitely.
1,200 battery on that.
Yeah, we did.
So
Okay, let's speed up a little bit. I know we're not quite on the maneuver, but hey, we're as close as this engine is going to get. The engine is slightly large for
precision maneuvers like this.
Yeah. I mean, the rocket is also slightly large for precision maneuvers like this.
I want you to look into that mod that guy was suggesting with the 5 and 7 meter engines.
The near future?
Near future, yeah. That just sounds like fun.
Okay, sure. I will totally look into it. It's
Like, I don't know if it would be good in career mode, like what we're playing, because it's probably just stupid to get it integrated anyway. But like,
it should just integrate perfectly fine. It should, but
well,
if you want to mess around with it in
it sounds more fun to mess around in sandbox mode than it does in career mode.
is my inclination still shit? Is that the problem? Or no? Okay, that's the problem. There we are. How's that insertion look? That looks acceptable.
Looks almost like an orbit.
That looks perfectly fine.
Not
Okay.
exactly, but close.
Stop drifting slowly. Okay. And the problem here is that I'm going to crash this rover so hard into
Oh, I
Minimus.
know. And we've just been making everyone wait like
Yeah.
over 3 hours for you to do that.
Yeah,
So.
it's the worst part. It's the worst part. Okay.
Sweet. Getting Splatoon on release date delivery.
Nice.
I kept missing out on the fucking test fires for that. Beta, whatever they called it.
The weird offline beta thing?
They did an offline beta and an online beta,
Oh, I didn't
and
know
a
that.
different online beta,
Okay.
and also a different online beta from the other two.
Did you play any of the other one?
I didn't have a Wii U.
Right.
Because why would you buy a Wii U? That was a garbage system for garbage people. Like, apologies to any of you who had a Wii U. I'm sorry Nintendo ripped you off like that.
This is beautiful.
Oh, you're down to this stage for your transit? That's not good.
Why is that not good?
Because this thing can burn for 60 seconds.
It burns for more than 60 seconds.
I don't think so.
We're going to be fine. We're going to get to orbit. So maybe we do need the other stage? Like maybe this stage is useful for us after all? how we're doing on we're fine electric charge. Let me turn off SAS.
Yeah, you're not using any electric charge, but when you do, it fills up almost instantly. So
Okay.
like you have actually been able to use it faster than it regenerates. I don't know why, but then as soon as you stop using it, then it regenerates.
I'm not sure what uses it and what doesn't.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah.
Here's Minimus. Hello, Minimus.
Hello, Minimus.
Wait, we serious?
What?
How do you?
Oh, you're out of probulating range?
How are we out of probulating range? We have a relay right here, don't we?
I thought so.
Goodbye. It's definitely not being blocked by. I could have sworn that was a relay station.
I swear that was a relay station. I wouldn't have let you fly it to Minimus if I didn't think that was a relay station. Are we sure it's not a relay station?
We can land on the moon.
We don't have enough fuel to get back to the moon. And
No, you don't understand. We're gonna go. We're going back to the moon.
Oh, why are we going back to the moon?
Because
why are we in the biggest elliptical orbit ever? Oh, we got.
Wait, do I have?
Yeah, we got a link. We got
a link. We got a link. Oh no, this is. I can change what the links are.
But why are the lines?
I'm not sure what this line is about.
Let's ignore this ship for a second.
Okay.
Go to the one orbiting Minimus. And
this one?
The one that we think is a probe.
The moon and bust?
Yeah, I want to see if that's a probe or not.
It's a probe,
a relay. It's got to be a relay.
Why
is it not
it has an antenna. It has an antenna on it, no matter what it is.
I know why it's not relaying.
Why?
It's on the dark side. So it's got to see Kerbin, and we have to see it.
Okay, we're gonna check it and see what it's like over there.
Because if we really launch this to a moon that we don't have tracking on, I am just going to retire from the stream.
I agree. No,
and just start a career of banging my head into the wall. That sounds okay. This is a relay.
It's a fucking relay.
It can see Kerbin, so we don't have a relay. You didn't put the fucking relay antenna on this rocket. You put the non-relay. No, we do have relaying. No, our other rocket. We have the non-relaying antenna.
That relay. They all relay. They're supposed to all relay. I read an article about this yesterday about
can you extend that antenna?
Maybe I have to activate the antenna. Let's see.
Can you activate the antenna if you're already out of radio range?
I should be able to. Is it blocked?
Because you're the ghost in the machine?
Did it get destroyed? Did we miss it shearing off?
I don't think anything got destroyed in the atmosphere. It's pointing down.
I somehow picked the wrong rocket.
It's pointing down. It shouldn't be.
We're gonna check it out.
Oh no, I know what happened.
What happened?
You took it off when you put the engines on.
That shouldn't have happened.
No, you took it off when you put the engines on because it was it was attached where the tank is now, and you just didn't put it back on. It's the can't even. Oh, did you just reset it when you went away?
No, I did not reset it.
What the hell happened? Okay, first of all, that's the moon. That's Minimus.
It should be like right here. It should be right here.
Okay, well, on that bombshell, I guess we are done for the day. We fucked up our ship, and then it disappeared.
It's gone. It's gone forever.
It went to the Twilight Zone. It's going to rove around the Twilight Zone. We can try and figure this out offline. But I think the plan for next week is we're going to launch a mission that is guaranteed to be successful because we've done it before.
We landed on. We landed today.
If you can get back to that mission, we can keep going. But I don't.
We can't.
We can't get back to that mission.
This one landed though. That's what I'm saying. We landed it today.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm saying that's why I'm saying it's a guaranteed success.
Yeah.
Because we done fucked every fuck that we can fuck on this fucker. So we're gonna fucking do it next time, right?
Yep, we're
Right?
gonna do it next time.
Can I say fuck any more times in one sentence?
Please.
I bet I could. Okay, so the next week on Schmuck & Co. First of all, I would like to remind everyone to check out my podcast. It is called Moon Law. I do it with Alan. We talk about space. If you're watching this, obviously you
care
like
about
listening to me
space.
talk. You like space. So I would recommend that you check out Moon Law. Go to moon.legal. Link is in the chat. We're going to have a blog post up on schmuckco.com telling you about that later this week. So please check that out. It would really help me out. Then for the rest of this week, tomorrow is Non-Committal Tuesdays, and I don't know what is happening, but Alan's going to be here. He's going to be playing games. It's going to be fun. Then on Wednesday, it is Partners in Crime, where Jordana and Alan, starting at noon, are going to be saving the world from aliens in XCOM 2. They've been playing for a couple of weeks. I think they're starting to get the hang of it, so check that out. Then on Thursday, it is Lasers and Lore, and I believe Gus is back, so I believe it is more Destiny.
Cool. Return to Destiny.
I think it is the Return of Destiny. I could be wrong, but check that out Thursday at noon. And then on Friday, we've got a very special stream again, where you and my sister and my mother are going to be playing games together. Why don't you tell us how that goes?
We're gonna play The Sims.
You are going to be playing The Sims. I saw in the schedule it was TBA, so I didn't know what was happening there.
It should be The Sims. I was told it was The Sims.
Okay. They're going to be playing something. Probably The Sims. They're going to be building some houses.
Yes.
I don't
We
know
built
if
a
you
very
guys...
beautiful house last time. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
2 weeks ago. If you guys saw that, I should be going up on YouTube any day now. It was a blast, so please check that out.
I believe the plan is to work on the interior. So if
Working
you're
on the
interested in
interior of your
design,
new house.
please show up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then on Monday,
It's-
we're all the way back around to some more 0 Hours Played, where I guess we're going to be playing Kerbal Space Program for the foreseeable future if we can never end a stream on a success.
I mean, yeah.
That's fine. I'm not mad at you.
I'm mad at me.
Good. You should be mad at you. And I think that is all for today. So check out our website, schmuckco.com/live for the full schedule, moon.legal for the podcast. And until next time, I will see you later. Stay weird, everyone.